get those to appear on camera.
Right. Nuke. Is there any way that Ninjas in Pajamas can win on Nuke? That is the first question I have. I would imagine that most people think that if Ninjas in Pajamas, I mean, I'm going to look at it from their perspective. Obviously, they're a heavy underdog going into this one. They're going to have to win this in 3 maps, I think most people are saying. But at some point, this run of Heroic on Nuke must come to an end. And maybe that time is today.
Entirely possible. 92% win rate for Heroic on Nuke. They're on a 5-map win streak. Dude. They've played it 12 times in the last 3 months. 11 wins, 1 loss.
Those are very exceptional percentages that they have. Again, Cadian with the Super Mario Brothers. I never did get to explain that last time when he came out of double doors jumping backwards, but we will talk about it later. First, we'll see who gets the opening kill. The bomb being planted already, and Shush starts as he means to proceed. Tessa's holding down Deacon. He's got help on the way as well. But the Julies are here. Indeed. Only fire 1 at a time, but there are many bullets to be deployed. Jumping himself and achieving nothing.
Did he get body blocked? Because it looked like he was trying to. It looked like he was trying to strafe around, and he wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, he jumped.
Yeah, ZTR was right next to him, so maybe he got body blocked by ZTR. Next meme. Move on to the next round.
Can we just end the round now for Semler, please? put in the admin command.
I mean, well, all right, to put things in perspective, right? So Heroic, utterly dominant on this map. They have a crazy, almost 70% win rate on CT sides, 50% on T side. I mean, it's just monstrous numbers. If we go to NIP, they have just lost against Anonymous. They have a 40% win rate on this map, and they lost in this tournament 16-13 to Anonymous. So NIP, Nuke, it's not the strongest map for them, but it is such a detailed map. It takes time to get rolling on this map, especially if you're making roster changes, if you have to change any positions. It's a difficult sort of scenario. So
I think what's interesting about this situation for Ninjas in Pajamas is that, of course, we may see some struggles in the early game as the new roster figures things out and learns from their experiences, but there's a possibility that they improve very quickly indeed. I'm not expecting anything utterly ridiculous, but something to bear in mind is that I wouldn't expect like a repeat performance, a mirror performance, if you will, from one map to the next. Even in this tournament, I think they're smart enough to look at problems and fix them. We got Device saved his Kevlar last round, left to buy some more when we come to the buy because he's dead. Well, maybe there is some money to be made with the SMG in the next round.
Yeah, it's just the MAC-10 that gets lost. I mean, there's another MAC-10 on refresh. He could go around and hunt. Cadian, I mean, they're out there hunting a little bit. Nicely done. Beautiful flank, but that was the easy kill. Hampus and Rez have got helmets, so they'll be much harder to get rid of with that MAC-10. But yeah, this is just another round, a very quick round. I like that from Heroic. They're setting the pace. They really are setting the tone for this match immediately right off the bat with some quick strategies, some quick rounds, not letting them get comfortable. It's the kind of CS that I like to see from the dominant team. Don't even let your opponents play their game. You just dictate it right from the beginning. You are the better team on the server. Play like it.
Monty referenced Tessis' performances of late, and he starts this game 4-0.
Yes, Tessis is a savage. Absolute savage. But you know who's actually dropping the most, who has the most effective flash grenades in the entire tournament?
Who?
Refresh.
Really?
Yeah, and Refresh isn't even like, Refresh frags hard as well, but he's out there flashing everybody.
Yeah, you never think about him throwing grenades. He's the man getting in there and causing immense problems for his opponent. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. There's Tessis to finish off the job. Julie's collected. As you can see, he's down in an anti-eco position. So again, if your team are heavily outside and you want to keep lobby honest, then that's basically where you stand. Stops them collapsing on you, the CTs, if they choose to push. And gives you the option to fall back, reset, take another tight angle to your advantage, of course. And again, there's patience from Heroic. Their mid-round patience, especially in rounds like this, we saw them previously when they got into difficult situations, just hold and allow the other side to look for information and be punished for doing so. So they've got great like mid-round and late-round pacing, I would say, Heroic, which is one of the strengths we don't talk about too much.
It's interesting. Cadian has still got the same tick with his left hand. He's had it for years, where he makes like this claw out of his hand between rounds. Have you ever noticed that?
No.
He's still got it. You can see it on the camera now because he just catches the edge of his keyboard. But if you pay attention to his left hand, he still does this claw motion every now and again with his hand for whatever reason. He's had it forever.
Is it like a stretch, maybe?
I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just kind of like makes a claw out of his hand.
Well, let's have a look at the first buy round for both squads. Cadian will be making his way downstairs very quickly indeed. He is not carrying the bomb, however, and he will be dealt with. But perhaps that will pull more rotation downstairs. You can see Device has targets towards the ramp. Shush really trying to make an effort there. An easy target for Device in round number 4. He's got a pretty good 5 versus 2 situation now. Not the most difficult round for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Rogue looking for some fast plays. I think they were trying to maybe pull the ramp player away. Didn't have the success they were looking for, as we can see. So NIP are in a strong position to find their first round. But again, this mid-round pacing from Heroic. They'll try to play and punish Ninjas in Pyjamas for seeking information, but they're content holding angles now. Not fighting to the death unless they want to, as you can see.
Oh, that's so annoying. And now Rez is just going to dart out. No information gained for Stalin. And a nice shot from Device. Device can be the difference maker. Device can be the difference maker this series. Could be really interesting to see. In terms of opening kills, he's high up there, top 5 in the tournament right now. But right behind him is Cadian. So you're balanced out. Both operators for the teams have been exceedingly good at getting those opening man advantages for their teams. So that is definitely going to be key going forward. You're always, always favors you if you can get that 5v4 going early. And then we see here in this round where Heroic just kind of got picked apart after giving up the opening kills. And so now we get to see Heroic, what do they decide to change with? Cadian's going to get that AWP in hand. 3-1, Nipper on the board early on here. With Device straight out into yard again. Oh, interesting. Molly on to main.
Cadian's on the hunt.
I expect to see this kind of duel happen a lot between these two.
Smokes are up outside. How do you respond, as Kanye West would say? You can see Hampus towards T-spawn. But there's a big focus on the inside on this occasion from Heroic. Refresh will look to impose his will upon Nip later on. He's got himself in a good spot. Waiting for the smokes to dissipate. There are 2 incendiaries and a smoke for Ninjas in Pyjamas at this point. Very slow approach. CT vent is cleared. ZTR's got to be real careful because he expects somebody's probably going to be looking for it. He's got to pick the right timing, but Tessis is ready for it, and in comes the push now. Rez with the off angle, multiple targets coming his way, but no kills just yet. And down goes Hampus as well. That 3rd kill will render this round done as far as Ninjas in Pyjamas participation. They'll look to try and hold on to what they have now. It's a very slow, measured approach from Heroic, and then very decisive once they push into the A bomb site.
If you can get into angles where you can hold multiple rifles on the same angle like that, it's so brutal because you manage to sneak 2 guys out that way. If there's a CT player there and you're both standing side by side, he gets a 1-for-1 maybe. But in this case, he doesn't even get that, right? Because they're so quick about it. They just blast him immediately. And from there, you just snap and explode onto the site. You do not let them get any further than that. Device, misses the shot. What a great hunt. Run boost in, finding Device, no AWP save for Nip. This is actually a terrific round for Heroic.
Flash combo as well. Very nice.
Do they have enough? I mean, maybe a glass cannon? It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's a really cool round from Heroic. They take some control outside and they put Ninjas in Pyjamas in positions far away, unclear as to where they may be going. Again, I think it was Hampus who was by that box towards CT spawn. Just leaves him in a position unable to do anything. So I do wonder if Ninjas in Pyjamas will make an aggression later on to try and force Heroic into a particular direction. Because again, having the luxury of going either way can be a problem for them. And perhaps control of Secret will have something to do with that. Maybe we'll see it now. You can see a smoke up already, and indeed Refresh once again is towards Secret. Last round he was lurking in the garage. This time there's a faster play on ramp. It's a different change of pace from Heroic here.
I love how they don't even chase down ramp at all. They just want to force him back. Now they have control of ramp, opening up all the different avenues. So lobby, ramp. Rez is in a position perhaps to push, but we'll see. His device is going to find an angle here towards ramp, but he's not going to have any targets just yet. Heroic instead slow walking their way down towards that lower site. Refresh has been lurking over towards Secret this entire time. He has yet to run into Hampus. But this is going to be it.
Look how difficult these positions are. Like, NIP are forced to just respond to what's happening. And here comes the first down the ramp, and Plopsky doesn't even realize the second player there, but now he does. Gets two out of it in such an awkward spot. It's really impressive from Plopsky. 2 versus 4 now, and NIP with control and devices on the ramp. Stan will swing on the ramp itself. Down goes device. 24 seconds now, and he's making this real expensive. Got to get his reload in. Even though they don't win the round, Heroic, they kill 3 of the 5 players with Ninjas in Pajamas, which will weaken them up for this round. Heroic can buy again, so that's only half the job done here for Ninjas in Pajamas.
And they're slowly figuring it out here, like what is going to be this setup for NIP. Hampus and Refresh having that duel, that is just the longest duel. They were in that standoff for 50 seconds or so. Just it felt like the entire round is just waiting on who was going to slip up first. And Refresh, uncharacteristically, falling short there. Definitely one of the standout players for Heroic. Kind of does it all. Multi-kill extraordinaire, and this is going to be Device. Aggro push from Device out in the yard, catching him completely off guard, and yet the double kill coming in from Refresh. There it is.
Hampus has a lot to do here. ZTR deleted on the side. That leaves Hampus now. He needs a multi-frag, but Refresh pre-fires for the 3rd kill. Plopsky with the MP9, 1 versus Tesses. A little jiggle. Oh, it's a very costly jiggle, actually. As he peeked before the flash, Tesses ready for it. Quick tap, but there's no peek from Plopsky. Goes for the wide swing, but Tesses is ready. 5-2 for Heroic. Things start to speed up and heat up. But it's NIP whose feet are in the fire.
Well, there you have Tesses, top performer for Heroic this tournament. Absolute monster. And that's in a team of monsters. That's the strength of Heroic, is that everybody is so lethal, so dangerous on this team. But as far as Heroic are concerned, you know, when he's competing already with his teammates to get the kills, he's still ranked 6th in the entire tournament in terms of individual performance tests. But he has just been coming up aces for Heroic round after round. Not surprised to see him pull off that clutch. Oh, there it is, nice. The Zeus.
Not much of a kill bonus for it, but it does make things expensive for your opponent, and it's a cheap way to have some impact in the round.
And to give us a chuckle.
I would love to see, or I'd love to learn how they recorded the sound that's made when you kill somebody with that Zeus. Because it sounds like one of those squeezy chicken toys. Or something. I don't know, like a dog might have. I'd love to know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my reaction to Launders' shirt today.
Launders, man. Let's see how he fares when he gets back to Blast. You know, is he going to be able to start wearing? He's going to have experienced all this freedom over here in the United States.
All this
how
freedom.
will he ever go back?
Crispy beef jerky and such.
Oh yes, indeed.
6-2, a great start from Heroic. Man, it looks really painful to play for them, to play against them rather, with the pace they set and what happens in the mid round. They establish a map control. They don't barrel down into the bomb site. They just wait. And then again, they're using the angles to just walk down the ramp. And suddenly 4 players are bursting onto the site. How do you respond to that? You have to, it's just whoever happens to be the individual where they're going is in a lot of trouble and needs more than 1 kill. I feel like we're seeing in many of these rounds, they're forcing an overperformance from every person they engage after positioning players way out to just keep an eye on things, as we saw previously.
And they're just always lethal. But what's been really very good for Heroic is just how effective they are at trading. It's like what we saw. Oh, this is unfortunate. Turns away, Cadian, or that's Tessus getting caught out. Bunch of kills coming through here for NIP. Bit of a weird round coming out here from Heroic. A little disjointed, and Nip were in the perfect spot to ruin Heroic. And here I was saying that they are just so good at trading kills.
Stoun's just bunny hopping all over the shop to retrieve the bomb. Very nice work from him. Cadian gets his bell rung. This is still clutchable for Heroic, which is very worrying from the NIP side of things. It might be a relief if Heroic make fast plays into A all the time. Outside's been such a problem and pulled him out. Hampus, he was the man who had to go to CT spawn in that round earlier. Gets the second last kill for them now. And again, they can't really afford to lose another player here, Ninjas in Pyjamas. Stam's got so many angles to look at. Plopsky trying to collapse on the site with his teammate. And he will do exactly that. Plopsky with a number of important frags in this game already. Whether or not they win the rounds, he's given them a chance at least.
He's doing a very good job, Plopsky. I mean, he has to step up. I mean, as far as individual performance is concerned, that's where NIP are kind of lacking. I mean, Heroic, they're so consistent, you can almost not tell the difference apart, you know, different players, one from the other in terms of statistics, in terms of performance. They just all frag, they all clutch, they all multi-kill. It's actually a bit ridiculous how good they all are on an individual level. NIP, on the other hand, you know, kind of experiencing ups and downs. You've had Rez, who's really experienced a resurgence recently. He seems to be topping out and becoming that star that NIP always hoped that he would be. But at the same time, you still got the ZTR, this player who's trying to find his place and trying to find that individual level to fit into the team. And we've seen him kind of fall short a couple rounds already here on this map where maybe somebody else is getting a kill in that situation. So we'll see if ZTR, you know, can step up. Because otherwise it's going to take an overperformance from players like Plopsky to make up for that.
Again, outside compromise very early. Refresh once more in the garage. How many teams do you see this from? Consistently, it's like the default map control for the T's is garage, which is absurd on Nuke. But such is the brazenness of Heroic. They take it on a regular basis. They expect it.
Yo! What was that?
Maybe going for a spray. I'm not sure if he was trolling or going through a spray through the wall.
Yeah, he was going for the wall bang. What was that?
2 for 1, I suppose. Tesses tries to pull rotation towards B. Opens the door. The sound cues are heard. Refresh has been dropped though, and NIP are holding position for now. They know it's a tricky team. Device will be caught in no man's land, however. ZTR sees the barrel of the gun now. Does he jump around the corner? He could get flicked there. Oh, he's got the angle. The scope will deny Cadian, and that will leave Tesses with 20 HP now. Does he go for 1 kill before planting the bomb? He may have no choice as he seems to be walking to his demise. Again, Heroic, even in the rounds they lose, they're doing significant damage, has to be noted, but Heroic find themselves on eco now.
Yeah, this round they don't get that bomb plant. So we will have, nope. Before I speak too soon. It's looking like we're gonna get a hero AK out of Tesses. Is everybody else gonna spend? No, okay, we will get ecos on everybody else. So, weird round coming up here for Heroic, but that's a 2-round loss bonus. And they actually do elect to just spend a little bit. We'll get that smoke wall down to give them some options out here in the yard. And in the meantime, Tesses gonna go toe-to-toe. Not a favorable fight for him against an AWP though, and he just manages to sneak by. Oh, looking for the headshot. That was so close. He tags Device.
Oh, Device.
Oh, there it is.
And the elevation he's looking for. Just like the U2 song. And Heroic goes straight back up again, looking to pick up the weapon. I think it's so weird to see everybody just jumping around, trying to take the crosshairs away. Hampus is in trouble now. He's got some help though. Just looking for all the other frags. Man, it's insane. It just looks so scary. That's going to be a fun round for Heroic as well, but I can see ZTR smiling, which is good. Stay in good spirits. And hey, Ninjas in Pyjamas are getting some rounds on the board now. Yeah. Suddenly it's 6-5. They've got the last 3 rounds in a row, Ninjas in Pyjamas. Heroic are coming back on the bye, but there's some momentum to be had here. Yeah,
they're starting to get back into it here. This is going to be that make or break moment, I think, where NIP, if they can shut Heroic down here without a bomb plant, that is going to be absolutely terrific for them, and they can start really taking the lead in this half. Still 6 rounds on the board on T side of Nuke for Heroic. So I think Heroic now, you know, they're not going to be feeling too dissatisfied no matter the outcome of the half. I think the onus, the pressure is on NIP. NIP are the ones who need to perform here. And Device, clever, gets the off angle on Refresh.
Taking out Refresh is so important because that means that NIP maybe don't have to go so far back towards spawn to try and figure out what's going on outside. Rez forced away with the Molotov. That's a pretty deep molly. And again, we've seen this before. Heroic will hold with presence on the ramp. Previously, they had a 4-man push into the B bomb sites afterwards.
But they had refresh down in the tunnels that time, right? Without refresh, you have no flank. You have no guy to catch the flank out on nip or to create room for you on the other side. And so Testis is kind of making that happen now for the team. Instead of refresh, he's over here trying to make some noise.
Vice with the pistol out, Plopsky again. Just always in these awkward situations. This time with the MP9, it's just not the one. That's a hard duel to win, and then Hampus gets deleted by control as well. ZTR now. Again, we need a multi-frag from someone here. It is a 3-on-3. A switch out to ZTR is down to 2 HP. So he'll have to hold an angle with the AWP. Cadian focusing on Decon. Oh, Storm looks away, but that's Cadian's job. That is absolutely brutal timing. Cadian now has got to hold down 2 jobs as well, but they will do that, Heroic, and reach their 7th round.
What a round. What a round from Heroic. You would think going against them, everything going against them, you would think, but no, they actually managed to bring it back. Here's the opening kill from Device, catches out the lurker. That should hamstring Heroic. And yet Heroic, they cut Testis loose, they let him go and create a diversion on upper to try and make it so it's a little bit more difficult for Nip to rotate quickly down to the lower site. And in the meantime, Heroic are just crushing through that defense. This is the difference, it's just everybody can frag on Heroic. There's no weakness, there's no weak link on that in that respect. Anybody can take any role, it feels like, because they can just all hit headshots. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they have a knack of putting Ninjas in Pajamas into unfavorable positions. The angle Plopsky's got to try and defend the B bomb site from, absolutely horrible.
This
especially with an MP9 as well. Indeed, but how do they make up for the shortcomings here in terms of weaponry, in terms of grenades? It's been a very responsive game so far. And I don't see any plays just yet. Again, Device where we saw Hampus previously. And this time there are more targets coming his way, and they seem expectant. How about that for a Molotov? All the way back to spawn. The buy time's run out. Just have to stand there and listen to the wind. How good are these guys at this game, honestly? Oh my god. All right then, Hampus making an effort here. Cadian will clean up.
Device has no idea that they've gotten behind him.
Walking past CT spawn. Seen something new today. And with that, it's a 4 versus 1.
Dude, you have to feel gutted if you're nipping this round right now. Just like, how did they manage to get all the way into hell like that?
That was awesome. This is such a stronghold for Heroic.
Plopsky, what can Plopsky do now? Oh, they're rotating out onto the upper side. He still has a chance to be the hero. If he can catch him planting the bomb. No, the bomb is getting planted on the other side of the silos as well. He can't even catch that break. They can't even plant the bomb for him.
He had an incendiary. I mean...
Interesting. He's just holding.
It looks like he's moving his mouse.
He is. He's there.
Okay.
He's just holding.
Yeah, 10 seconds. I mean, he has to... I mean, you could jiggle and see if somebody's at the hut there. That's interesting. I feel like there is a Molotov play to be made there to try and steal around the way. But not today. Heroic moved to 8 on the T side here. And the thing is, I think Heroic have got to a strength on Nuke where it's going to force other teams to improve on Nuke, because right now, I think in some respects, maybe from the perspective of other teams, if they're facing Heroic, they're thinking 3 maps immediately because they look so nasty on Nuke.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like some teams are going to be giving up the map just by it being in a map pool every time for Heroic.
Well, they're 11-1 right now on the map.
Yeah. So
in the last 3 months. That's a ridiculous score.
Be better. Going to have to watch their demos and learn. The A bomb site is empty. Cadian will soon communicate to his team. Grenades up top, and this will be a nice, smooth round for Heroic, like a new blade on a razor. There's minimal resistance.
Just going to skim on through, and much like, you know, that new blade. Oh, that HE. Well, that wasn't like a new blade. That was a bit more brutal, but they are just definitely going to collect some kills. Cadian has put himself in a prime position with that Mech 10. Oh. Did he farm him up? No, he just makes sure that ZTR creators.
Rated.
So 9-5 going into the 15th round of this first half, and Heroic look completely in control of the situation. And IP putting up a fight, but it is definitely a struggle for the Swedes. It's the age-old fight, Bardolph. Danes versus Swedes.
It's mystery to read there. Last round of the first half, then we'll see if Ninjas in Pajamas have a 6th. Oh, hello. Target acquired. They know Hampus is close. I saw him cross, but where is he?
Oh, man, he's somewhere in here. This is nerve-wracking.
He doesn't survive this.
Dude, no, the smoke is going to clear. He's going to have the advantage.
Oh. Yep, he got traded. And look at the slaughter on the ramp. 2 versus 2. Device got traded outside as well, so I don't know how much information there is on the remaining CTs, because what a crazy exchange of frags that was across the map. Showing presence towards B, trying to pull rotation is Tesses. I think Cadian's towards the lobby. And things slow down now. Again, that mid to late round from Heroic. We'll see if it's strong this time. Jerking up the ladder is Cadian.
But we're coming back towards ramp, aren't we? With the bomb. So this is back into lobby. Where is ZTR? Does ZTR spot? No, this is... ZTR is in a prime position to cut this off. But the check is there. Dude, it's just instant death. Tesses is too fast.
The synchronization has to be respected as well. Cadian's probably trading that kill if necessary, but it wasn't. Yet another strong half from Heroic. 10 rounds on the T side of Nuke. We'll see if NIP can fight back on their T side after the break. You know, now I think about it, maybe I did put 750 on Mouse and not Nip.
That's the way to open it.
Maybe we should change it back. No, in all seriousness, you have to expect Heroic to be very strong on the T side and the CT side of Nuke, in fact. So it's always going to be an uphill struggle for the Ninjas, but maybe not being on the CT side anymore will be a relief. They've got 2 players with utility. No P250s, but they're already close enough with the... almost close enough with the Glock, actually. You can see Cadian headshot, but still alive. Moving down towards the B bomb site are Ninjas in Pajamas. Cadian will be finished off on the outside as another headshot onto Refresh. Oh my god, they're coming back with a vengeance, Ninjas in Pajamas. Now it's Heroic's turn to be absolutely smashed from pillar to post by the mostly Swedish squad. What is there left for Stown to do here? Maybe it's his turn to try and hide like Device did on the pistol in the first half.
Yeah, how the turntables turn. Stan. Gonna get a headshot at least. So now can he hold? You put yourself in a position to face up against the Glocks. I actually like this. Not gonna be able to save the kit though. But yeah, just chill out. Don't even face. I mean, you got the USP, so if you face, you got the advantage, although they have USPs too. So he has to realize that, and he is going to just chill out and save this utility into the next round. So good on Stan. Now the question is whether or not Heroic go for the force buy in this round. Because you're in double eco territory. Do you want it? I mean, you're in the lead. Nope. It's looking like we're going to get a force buy.
All I see is force buys. Everybody's force buying.
Yeah,
But let's not forget.
true.
I mean, yesterday was insane with the Desert Eagles and so on.
True. I mean, Desert Eagles have radically changed the game. Like once upon a time, you would have just been like, yeah, this is a waste of money. Why are you doing it? Now, with how good Deagles are and how good the players are with Deagles, yeah, maybe it makes sense.
People are just better, it seems. Refresh looking for some headshots as well. Oh, tagging onto Rez. Bomb carrier 4 HP. He'll be seen escaping Refresh, so at least there's some relief for Ninjas in Pajamas. But again, look how active Heroic are. Such a difference already versus Ninjas in Pajamas, who weren't really allowed to move forward on their CT side at all, but Heroic certainly will. Yes, it's the force buy territory, but I'm interested to see actually how Heroic responds on their CT side, because again, Ninjas in Pajamas were either passive or responsive, you know, like NIP just, sorry, Heroic on the T side had NIP. It felt like they were unable to really maneuver and just had to react and fall back and then basically fight in a really bad situation. Credit to Heroic for putting them in that position. But I feel like we'll see a more aggressive CT side coming out of Heroic here, who I think they'll feel like every round, regardless of what side they're on, that they're going to be in control of this game.
Well, again, much like in the first half, they need to be the ones to just set the pace here. NIP are going to, obviously on the T side, they're the ones who get to dictate, but Heroic can play aggressive, they can play aggro yard. They have an effective oppo who can go toe-to-toe with Device in the form of Cadian. So, I mean, they have options. They're not going to be totally limited here. But Heroic now, it's going to be the hard eco coming up for them after this force buy with the Deegs. And we should just have NIP deathballing around on the map together and just running through this defense. Not a whole lot you can really hope to do. You can get some clever plays. We saw that, actually, didn't we see that? Yeah, we saw that with Vitality where they stacked up here outside with 5 USPs. That was fun.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, you can do cool stuff like that. Winning the round, though, less likely. Far less likely.
We saw a lot of smoke grenades closer to main from Heroic on their T side. So I do wonder if Ninjas in Pajamas will default to these more common ones. I still remember Astana Dragons.
Huh. Well, that's a name you don't hear every day.
Yeah, with the this wall of smoke outside every single round. That was their default on
Just
the
had
T
to do
side.
it.
Such a nice name as well, Astana Dragons. It sounds like it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's I'm sad that the name isn't in Counter-Strike anymore because it just sounds really awesome.
It was a good name. It was a good team. It's a shame that they weren't able to get more done. Oh, well, you got a kill.
Yeah, the trap has been found, and the rest of the formality for, wow, they get two kills out of this. That is very impressive indeed. Refresh comes out like, blow, and here it is. He's actually giving himself a clutchable round. Oh, please, not like this. Someone's going to be at home crying if Refresh finds a way to win this one. He's got 3 bullets. Oh, that's a heavy tag looking for the trade fragger, and here he is now. Oh, man, how did that get so close?
Woo! Dude, you're holding your breath the entire time. He is perfectly capable of clutching that. That was way too close. What a round from Refresh, dude. He is so good. But now, okay, this is going to be it. The big buy round here for both teams. NIP fully equipped on their side. Device has got his AWP. Heroic now going to have the AWP in Cadian, and Tessis has gone for the AUG. So let's see, Stan will be taking point out here in the yard. Nice HE, not going to find him just a bit too early. Ninjas and Pajamas, they're too long in the tooth, Bardolph. They're not going to be running into HE damage for free. But with this wall of smoke down, they can get across to Secret. Cadian is currently holding below, though, with the AWP.
Yeah, and there are a few different places he could be, so it will be curious what NIP do to find out where he is, and also if they give their own positions away in that respect. Well then, is this a play to pull players towards the B bomb site? But perhaps a play towards A. I wonder with this smoke grenade, Teslas have been traded now. You can see Shush creeping on the outside. Hamper's good for 2. And now Heroic are devoid of information outside. NIP could be heading towards Heaven. Hell, Secret, B, Main. You can see the smoke from Main has gone before the smoke at Hell. But he also got both kills there in Heaven and Hell.
We're getting close on time, though. 40 seconds. Cadian is still below. That's actually crazy. Still just holding the lower halls. And Hampus has now made his way up to Heaven. Bomb is starting to make its way back as well, so this is looking like it's going to wind up on A. The upper hit, Refresh just holding his angle, Stavin watching his back. ZTR though, unfortunately there's just so many angles that you can watch on this bomb site.
There we are. So NIP take control of Secret, establish some control and try to force some rotation towards the B bomb site. Deny information with the smoke towards Hell, punish the peaks from Heaven and then the swing from Hell. And then moving towards A. And here we are, Cadian forced to hide now, hold on to the AWP. And Heroic may be in with a chance of losing the lead at this point. Although again, that eco was pretty close, so I'll take nothing for granted in this series. But that's where the situation should probably go in this respect. But we need to see what else NIP have in their toolbox.
It certainly is a tough break for Cadian. This is a round where he's probably wishing he can have it back so he could have that AWP out in the yard doing some damage long range, taking these fights with NIP where he would have the advantage versus, rifles versus rifles. M4s against AKs, it's never a good time. Nicely done by Hampus. So maybe that second kill, right? If Cadian is out there with an AWP, maybe we're looking at a different scenario. But Cadian down and lower, not able to have any impact, and we're going to get a tactical timeout called now by Heroic. So 10-9, NIP 1 round closer to tying it up, and Heroic right now, okay then. Dude, they're going for it. This is a bold move.
Whoa.
Double AWP.
Well, with the pace of the rounds, it may make sense. If we're going to see some shift walking from the Ninjas. We saw the trouble dueling outside versus the AK-47s.
They are ninjas after all, aren't they?
So this could be one way to respond to that. Let's see where Stown goes with his.
Nope, never mind. Wait, what? What's going on? Missed call, but I think we're good. We're going to keep going. Oh yeah, Cadian out in the yard. And Rez on silo right now, not going to spot out anybody just yet. Smoke wall has gone down out in the yard. Cadian not going to be able to see on the other side of it, though, due to his position.
Where is the second AWP? Oh, Stown's creeping towards Secret, actually. So we have double AWP outside, kind of.
So far, neither of these ops has had any kind of impact. In the meantime, Device is waiting for some kind of push for info on ramp.
I like the angle from TSS.
It's a nasty one.
Want to learn. You can spray through the corner of that box as well. Oh, the boost could be brutal. And there's no way to respond to that because of the flames, and there'll be more junk thrown into it as NIP move away. I smell trouble for the Ninjas here.
Stevin's backed off as well. He's already putting himself in a position to support at ramp. This is going to get nasty. Does Cadian get rewarded for all of the patience, though? Oh, no! The angle isn't correct.
All NIP
But he knows somebody made it past.
Oh, he had to land that one. All NIP knew was that there's a rifle on a ramp, and they didn't really know the formation of the rest of them. Well, they know there's one AWP in the garage now, and maybe they collapse on Cadian. Indeed, they do. 3 versus 4. 28 seconds on the clock, And Heroic, again, they're proactive. We didn't really see these kind of plays from Ninjas in Pajamas, but Heroic have found a way to do it, and they found a bomb as well. Knife out, and that's a free kill for Plopsky. Got to rescue though. He's in an awkward spot, walking into a crossfire, actually. And there is Refresh to make it 2v2. 14 seconds, he's got help, and the bomb's heading towards the B bomb site. That's crucial. Rez has the rotation as well, holding the vent down to where does TeSS go. Very back and forth affair. TeSS knows that Rez is creeping somewhere, but does he make a play into the vents? That's a huge kill from him. 1v1 now. Hampus has the information. He could be anywhere. TeSS will have to clear all these angles very, very carefully indeed. All the elevation spots and such. Does he choose to spray the rafters? He does a little bit. Quick reload, Jiggle peeking, trying to figure out where Hampus is, inviting an attack, and there he is. Patient Hampus, but boy, that was a tense one, a very nervous one. And I did say, on the CT side, are we going to see more proactiveness and aggression from Heroic? We saw that, and again, it looks so much more threatening than what we saw from NIP.
It does not. I mean, never are you going to expect the second guy to be in the hut like that. And so a free kill right here, Plopsky, that is so painful. Taking down the one. Had that not happened, that could have been a completely different situation, but Heroic now it's going to get, life is going to get very interesting here for the Danes, and the Swedes are going to be feeling pretty pumped up. 10-10, NIP with a full buy, Heroic with Deagles again, and this time again they go for a stack here in ramp. 3 players waiting in ramp.
We have to recognize that Ninjas in Pajamas have won every round in this half so far. It's a pretty good start for them. Here's yet more aggression from Heroic. The Deagles spamming up close. Can spray through these walls as well, but you can conserve your bullets for these pushes. They actually win the engagement. 4 versus 2. Hampus has to change things, moves away as he has to collect the bomb. Heads back and Refresh has the angle. There could be yet more trouble for Ninjas. The question is though, where is Rez in the meantime? Hampus will be relying on him to maybe get more than 1 frag. Refresh, look, how is he out here, man? Heroic taking liberties. He has absurd angles. He's going to catch Hampus. Stereo frag for Heroic, and their first round is an eco with the ramp push.
Exactly. This is the round that Heroic get after all of these close clutch situations. It comes down to a Deagle buy, which was an eco. They just won an eco round. And yet here we go. This is how lethal these players are. Dude, you know, the Deagle now reminds me of the CZ back in the day. Just how effective the CZ was.
It's everywhere.
And just how effective the Deagle is now. I mean, there are no such thing as eco rounds anymore. These players are always so dangerous. These pistols are so strong in the hands of pro players. And so, massive round for Heroic to win. And already off to a strong start here. TeSS catching Plopsky in the smoke at ramp. Man advantage for Heroic. And now NIP, well, you've lost a lot of utility there on your 1 player. We will get the smoked wall going down again here. Out in the yard, and so once again, Stown not in a position exactly to see on the other side of it.
It's interesting TeSS is holding an incendiary rather than a smoke, as you would normally see in this position. Because again, a smoke, I guess you're more inclined to charge through it with the numbers, and you might expect that in a 4 versus 5. So a little difference there to what we normally see. But again, we've got a big queue of T's, Crab walking through the main position. Refresh not flash at all. That's a lot of information. Instant trade by Shush now. Tries to make some space for himself, holding down the A bomb site. Hampus pushing hard, denied, and he may have done enough. Rez in the clutch now. 40 seconds. We've got TeSS trolling, jiggling, dancing on the ladder. He'll create some space for himself. Does he commit to this bomb plant though? Not going to just yet. Awkward. Down goes Cadian. Pushing to stop that bomb. 29 seconds. Potential double peak. So afraid of heaven. He does not know where Stown is. He only knows that TeSS was by the ladder. 20 seconds as they look to delay the bomb plant. Rez is running out of options now.
Very good. Discipline. Do not peek. 10 seconds. He has to plant the bomb. And so there we get the flash. Molly over the top, and now Rez has put himself in a winnable position here. But he's 1 shot away, and TeSS will catch him. But this is what you need to be doing if you're Heroic at that point. I mean, eventually he has to plant the bomb or he loses the round. So the clock is forcing his hand. So rather than run into him where his crossfire, you know, his crosshair is there, and he's ready and waiting for you with these bait plants, just run down the clock. Keep running it and keep forcing him to make the play.
Yeah, that clock is pressure for he and him alone.
So very nicely done there by Heroic, and we're going to get a tactical timeout called here by NIP. And the Ninjas in their facility in Södermalm, apparently.
Where's that?
Learned in Stockholm.
That's a place in an area of Stockholm?
Yes, it's the south on the south side of the city. Pretty, hipster, you know. It's like Abbot Kinney or something if you're around here.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah. Plant-based restaurants and such.
And trust fund babies.
Plant and wine.
Yes, that's the kind of area. But it's a good spot. I mean, it's a really good spot actually. A lot of cool development going on over there, new companies, all that sort of thing. So it's a good spot for NIP to be. So glad to hear that they've got that rolling for them. Hell yeah. 12-10 in favor of Heroic on the CT side.
Maybe they've taken control again now, as I'm sure they expect. You can see Plopsky lining things up. What kind of pace are we going to see from Ninjas in Pyjamas? Things were looking so good for them. I was starting to wonder until they lost that pistol round. They almost find themselves in a pistol round afterwards. Must be a crying shame from their perspective, but for Heroic, they are where they should be. See them all avoiding the flashbangs, facing immediately, some back and forth as they expect more utility. So are we going to see a double pump from NIP? We've got 3 mollies, 2 smokes and some flashes as well. But again, the utility continues, which will slow down the execute here.
Every grenade is so valuable for NIP right now, though, because they just have not been able to full buy, and so they're going to be limited in their options. They do have mollies for the full execute, and ZTR was spotting for the hot play. That's the bomb, though, so we're going to get to see that. Imperfect molly. Oh, they can make it down the vents. This is huge. They managed to sneak through. They thread the needle down onto the lower bomb site, and now Tesses, sure, there's a gap, but he can't stop the bomb from getting planted.
Looking over the smoke as well, see what he can find. That's quite interesting. I wonder if there's a world where... Oh, hold on a second. See if Cadian can make it down the vent. Rez seems to have an angle, but Cadian's very expectant, very aware. Bloxy's got to go for the multi-frag. Continuation spray flashes as well. But it's a 2 versus 4 in favor of Heroic. Device contained now in control. Forced away, and that bomb is ticking. 3 of these 4 players with defuse kits. Device avoids the flash, and he's just being trolled here by Shush, who wins the duel as well. ZTR with so much to do now. There's the first kill, looking for the player above him. Is there time? I think there is just about time for Heroic to defuse the bomb. Indeed there is. And we move to a 13th round for Heroic on their pick of nuke.
Whew, man, can we get any closer than these rounds? It's hard to believe. Already so nice from NIP, where they force the man on hut backwards. ZTR with that peek initially, right, forces him back. So then they're able to, because they force the defense back, they can then go through Squeak and get down that vent without getting shot in the back. They can get down to vent and get a bomb plant out of that situation. That's terrific for NIP. Put themselves in a winnable situation, but that was a force buy. Now we're into a half buy with some pistols and some nades. But this is going to be a lot riding on NIP getting a bomb plant in this round so that they can set themselves up for success in the following round. Because Heroic are getting dangerously close to winning this first map now. We'll put them up on 14-10 if they take this one.
There's the molly. No reasonable way to respond to that from NIP's point of view. Because he's down in Cadian with, they've got a full buy in the hole. So the Ninjas have got some work to do here. There's various ways to be impactful for the long run. But it might not be so long if Heroic have their way. The molly's towards double doors once again. Oh, Tete still with his angle. Hampus walked into a very painful situation there. Look at all the junk thrown into main. Look at all those lines from the T side. Speaking of lines, Shush knows his lines and ZTR gets deleted. Nothing going the way of NIP all of a sudden. No bomb plant just yet. Their planter has been expired by Heroic. The fadeaway heat sheet grenade.
Oh no!
Second attempt is also denied. Device now, so many targets there, but the spray through the vent will be enough, leaving Plopsky in a 1 versus 4. They must have been expecting the bomb plant as a minimum, but they may not even be gifted that by Heroic. Hold on a second.
Well, Cadian just can't catch a break up there, can he?
Where's the AWP? Did it fall down? 10 seconds is not long enough, really, to AWP 3 people. Plopsky's got to swing and force the issue. He must die, and he does. No bomb plant for NIP as Heroic make it to 14.
Oh, that's just cruel. The AWP actually dies up there. Cadian shaking his head a little bit. It's not like they've got mountains of cash here, Heroic, so him having to spend it, valuable money to re-equip an AWP is a bit of a painful loss. So we are going to get another round on the board here for Heroic, 14. They've gone 4 rounds in a row, as you can see. And so NIP, now this is it. The big moment we've all been waiting for. Nearly full nades and straight aggression. No hesitation. No, Device is still chilling. And that smoke is going to slow things down again as well.
Well, the smokes will be gone soon on the outside, and Heroic will have to fall back. I say have to, it is Heroic. It's more like choose to, especially on Nuke. And Cadian will stand his ground. AWP scoped in already by T-Red. See if a molly is deployed for this position by Ninjas in Pyjamas. They only have 2 Molotovs, so they may choose to hold on to their utility, considering what little they have. But Hampus, well, he's almost doing 360s.
He sees the smoke wall. Hits the shot, but it's not enough. Through the edge of the box, perhaps. Hampus survives.
Yeah, support utility for Cadian. Not particularly challenged when he falls back. In the meantime, 50 seconds on the clock again. Testes with this tight angle. You can spray through the corner of this red box. Says hello. Quick flashbang. We'll see if he has any support towards the speed bomb site or if he takes a Plopsky-esque angle. There's Down now, posted up. So 2 players towards the B bomb site. I don't know if NIP can identify that, but it seems the B bomb site might not be their position. Hampus shows the arm, and that's enough for Shush to delete him. Device still creeping towards the B bomb site. 19 seconds. This is really running late. Look at all the utility going towards Heaven. NIP stuck here. We've got a creep from Device, but it's just dry going in, and Cadian and Refresh will make this one easy looking as Heroic move to game points, outmaneuvering Ninjas in Pyjamas again.
Utterly shut down NIP. Everywhere they go. Heroic, Cadian with the aggression outside. He's getting behind that smoke wall. He sees all the utility, which means that they're prepared for him on the other side of the map. And that's Testes just locking down that nasty angle over at ramp, making it very difficult for Nip to get through unscathed. And I mean, it's just right now, Heroic are fully dialed in on this CT side. They have got the defense on lock. 15-10, map point, 5 of them for Heroic now. And NIP looking very quick change of pace, but all of the anti-rush nades going through on this upper site. Brutal.
So many players on the A bomb site. ZTR's in trouble. There are 4 players on A. They'll deal with one of them, but how long can he stay alive for? Rez trying to help, but it's too late and too little. Heroic stormed the final rounds here on Nuke, as they normally do. You can see Cadian's very happy indeed with that. He's like, I almost feel challenged by this. 1-0 Heroic. We'll see the thoughts of the analyst desk after the break.
Heroic will win their map. The first of the series was a little bit closer than I thought. NIP is standing their ground just a little bit, but by the time we saw Heroic on that CT side, they started really to run away with it.
Yeah, NIP really didn't look bad in this matchup. I think this is new. Even if you're an NIP fan at home, this was sure to be an uphill battle against Heroic on their home map. To me, though, I think the difference is very clear when you watch them play here on Nuke and just how consistent they are with their synergy, their teamwork, and their chemistry, just working in tandem in pairs, ways that other teams, often fail to do, and Heroic showing it on the scoreline.
Yeah, it always impresses me the way that Heroic are able to just have a great read of the situation despite the lack of perfect information. And that's what you're usually working with on Nuke. You don't know where your opponents are all the time, but Heroic, they somehow seem to. They actually are dunking people with nades without seeing them. They're slowing rounds down in order to win mid-rounds. And all in all, just a very complete game from Heroic when they play fast on top of that.
And Tessus being very impressive.
And Tessus does help, yes.
As usual, but the new look Heroic roster really making a strong run through our losers bracket here. They have a chance to face off against G2 if they win this next map, or if they win the map after that, and they are looking for that grand final placement. So well on their way so far. We are going to dive into some specific rounds here because you guys were very impressed with the coordination and teamwork that we see from Heroic.
Yes, yes. I think we can get it to round number 7 to kick things off.
All right, let's do it, Maui.
Yeah, let's do it. Usually it's you prepping them, Monty, but this time I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
This is a really cool, fast play from Heroic. It's supposed to be a drop strat, but they actually lose the opening pick. But that's where Heroic becomes the most impressive, the way they're able to battle back in 4v5s. And the way that Refresh was able to find those 2 kills towards Mini, and then everybody else still works through the map slowly, methodically, and they're able to make it a 2v1 situation down to a 1v1. And NIP, they fought really hard in this round, but it is still Heroic that come out on top. And that's why this team is so strong, the fact that they can consistently pull out these rounds, even when things don't go right in the very beginning.
Something that was actually really cool to watch, though, that I didn't notice when we were watching it live was just how all 3 of those players coming out of Hut and Squeaky obviously aren't, within range of each other to know exactly, how is Shush taking this angle, but he's just buying enough time and creating enough space so that when he does actually fight, yes, he gets traded, but he's got teammates coming out of Squeaky to clean it up.
Yeah. Those imaginary kind of sight lines and how they have to connect while they're scaling is something that Heroic are consistently doing at a world-class level.
Yeah, really impressive. We do have another round that you wanted to take a look at, Lex. Round 13.
Yeah, round 13. This is mostly, it could have been an anti-eco from Heroic straight up, but you do see a force buy from NIP, the saved M4 and AUG from the round prior, and they use a lot of utility here to get outside control and to force Device back. Look at this. Device hasn't even fired a shot yet, and he's forced all the way back into CT spawn. They don't know his exact position. They haven't even seen him yet. But this is kind of like you were talking about. They have incomplete information on the setup from NIP, but Tess is, and I believe this is Shush next to him, just basically creeping on the down low underneath Hell, and Refresh backed up by Cadian for any kind of secret aggression outside. And to me, this is actually it's not crazy to see teams wrapping through Heaven or Hell on an anti-eco, especially on Nuke. You have these huge amounts of space that you can take away from pistols quite easily at Yard, right? But what's interesting there is how they take that space, they force it back with the utility, they use the map against, Device's situation. They don't even know that he's over there, but they're aware of the fact that the threat was real, right? And it was so clean up until the point where you get into Hell and suddenly all these CTs are walking into your crosshairs. They've got contingency plans for the re-aggro over towards Secret. And then you have somebody over in Lobby that's basically the linchpin of it all. And it just seemed like it was a perfect anti-eco coming out from Heroic. And that's just some of those things that other teams, it's usually a criticism of them when they fail to do that properly.
Yeah, we're going to switch over now to look at Heroic's play on the opposite side because we came into the day talking about how Nuke is the most played map here at Flashpoint 3. That continues to be true. We've seen it in both of our last 2 best of 3s. And what I said was part of the reason I like this map so much is because we do get to see some really cool retakes on it from the CT side. And that's what you picked, Maui, to look at.
Yeah, so we can get into that one. This is a pretty unusual situation because on round 23, the opposing team in NIP are able to plant the bomb, and it's a 5-on-5 situation. And you would say that most of the time that I mean, I've even seen teams save in these kinds of positions, but Heroic, they decide to still go for it. And once again, without perfect information, they still are able to find out the positions of NIP. They are so diligent in the way that they approach, their trading procedures, everything about them. Like, no stone goes unturned when it comes down to how Heroic retake this. They are so thorough, and that is one of the reasons that they were so successful here.
Yeah, and look at this duel from Shush. He's so patient with it, waits for the Molotov to dissipate, and then posts on the angle where the only place that Device can remain. And of course, you know, Device only has Galil in that situation. He loses it outright. And I mean, considering the situation, as you mentioned, Maui, 5v5 retake it lower, and the clock has ticked that far, there was maybe half a second left on the defuse, but they look so comfortable up to the end.
Yeah, what's impressive about that to me is that retake was basically perfectly timed so they could all swarm the site and still get the defuse on the bomb with just enough left over. It's like they went through all their procedures, made sure they cleared everything out as much as they could in advance, but still hit that timing, no panicking, like really solid.
Yeah, even compared to Mousesports in the series earlier today, they ran out of time on a retake, actually. And despite how good they look, I mean, that's why Heroic right now just feels like a tournament favorite, even though they're making their way through the lower bracket right now.
Okay, I heard that applied to G2 as well. So
That's true.
as soon as Heroic lost to G2, including on Nuke, which you guys seem to believe is their best map, it was all of a sudden G2's the new tournament favorite, right?
No, Heroic won on Nuke.
Oh, they won on Nuke. Sorry, yes,
yeah.
you're correct. It was very close. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, G2, I mean, they had some stumblings there. They take a little too long, actually, sometimes too. But Heroic, there's a reason that they've been kind of a top 3 team, along with Gambit and Na'Vi recently. They're really at the tip-top of the CS space right now. And yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of recency bias when we said that G2 are now the tournament favorites. But at the same time, Heroic, I mean, Semler's been saying it before this started, that he thinks they're the team to beat here at Flashpoint 3, and for good reason.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look at Rez as well in this last match, because as big of a name as Device is in terms of this signing, he is the new addition to the squad, still trying to find his place. And Rez has been the player who I think has been the most standout on this NIP roster over the course of Flashpoint 3.
Yeah, and even there on Nuke, there was a few different rounds where Rez was, you know, the deciding factor on an NIP round win. The interesting thing there, though, is, you know, you didn't really see a whole lot of clutching come out of NIP in the last map, which I found like Rez, you know, found himself in those situations a few different times. But again, that was Heroic's, you know, perfect situation, being on Nuke, of course. And honestly, like his performance throughout Flashpoint 3 has been tremendous. And it's somebody who I think, you know, maybe you could have alluded to a storyline of, oh, well, you know, he's got to find form and he's got this new roster situation. Can he live up to his hype? But truthfully, I feel like he's well on his way to either being already there or even getting better than we've seen his form in recent months.
And, you know, honestly, as we look through all of these highlights of Rez across the various maps of Flashpoint 3, you have to say that without some of these clutches, NIP wouldn't have even made it this far. Like, some of their maps were 16-14, 1 in OT, as a result of him having some absolutely crucial rounds that really swung the momentum back in NIP's favor.
Yeah, in terms of firepower alone, I think Rez has just been a huge shocker. I mean, I think we've seen glimpses in the past 3-4 years of the heights he can reach with his aim and his mechanical ability, but it's when he puts it together in the greater picture for NIP, where he's able to fit a role and not overextend and try to impose himself too much on opposing professional players, where I think he's fit into the system really nicely.
Yeah, all I can think about when we're talking about Rez and his success is how, you know, during the rematch against Anonymous, he, I mean, essentially single-handedly won that game late in the second half, and that's just the kind of grit and determination that's required sometimes in this game of Counter-Strike. And Rez, you know, if you're rising to the occasion in such a pressured match like that, you know, that goes a long way to the success of the team.
I think one thing about this NIP roster is that I love when I look at them now that I don't see anybody or any two players in like a 2v4, 2v3, 1v2 where I think this is impossible or this guy's going to make a mistake. Even ZTR, the bottom fragger of this team, has come up with some massive clutches as well.
Yeah, and to go back to Lex's point about the match versus Anonymous, that was on Mirage, and Mirage, while maybe Device is still getting up to speed on that map, it has been a playground for Rez across the matches that we've seen from NIP so far, and that will be our deciding map this series should we go there. But before we jump into Mirage, we should talk about Overpass, because Overpass is a map, this is the new look NIP, the first time we saw them was on Overpass versus Anonymous. They did win that map 16-3, and then we started seeing teams ban it out. Like, nobody wants to play really Overpass versus NIP. They get it here. This seems like it's going to be probably favorable, if not very winnable, for NIP. Where are you guys coming down? Are we going to go to Mirage, or is the end of the line here, as it were, for NIP? Because if they lose, they're out in 4th place.
Well, I guess my predictions would definitely, I'd have to be honest here and say this is going to end in 2. But, I mean, here's the thing. We saw Cadian really step up in a series where he was struggling on Overpass just recently, and to me, that is probably the most important factor for them in this map. Tess is getting a lot of responsibility towards A. He's been performing, so I just really can't see Heroic really faltering in this way, right? You know, self-described in the interview that we had with Cadian, he said something to the effect of, you know, we haven't played Overpass a whole lot. It's not exactly a map that we consider one of our strongest, but we're confident on it. And I think we got to see that, right? Like, it wasn't the most refined or insane Overpass play, but it's a space where all 5 of these players are going to continue to perform at the highest level.
Yeah, I think what Cadian said, like you mentioned, Lex, is that maybe it's not their most comfortable, but they're still playing it at an elite level. They are still they are still beating teams on this map. And when Heroic last played Overpass, what struck us, I think, the most is how they're just so active on the map. That Cadian in particular is just moving all over, finding picks in 4 different places in the same round sometimes. And the fact that he's a complete enigma to the opposing teams. You don't know where he's going to be round to round. You don't know if he's going for the B pick, water pick, connector. Like, there's so many options for him, and this is looking like Cadian's playground.
There's a playground.
Yeah, exactly. I shoot that in there.
Nice. I picked it up. Good job. I appreciate your clever wordplay. Well, we have some updated odds for you, courtesy of Unicorn, and it is looking less favored towards Heroic on the second map. Does make sense. Remember, guys, if you go to Unicorn, you can use the code FLASHFREE as you sign up, and you'll just get €10 in your account.
Free money, I guess.
There you go. So enjoy.
I'll see you. I'll be there.
You'll be there.
No, I can't be there.
Yeah, you can't be there.
Okay. No.
But anyone else could be there besides Maui.
Someone can send me that.
All right. We are going to get into Overpass right now. NIP trying to come back, keep their RMR hopes alive here at Flashpoint 3. They are on the cusp of elimination in 4th place. Can they make the comeback? Can they send us to Mirage in the end? Semler, Bardolph, answer the question.
I'll answer it. Over the period of the next 1 to 2 hours.
1 to 2 hours, that's a safe...
I'll tell you who's going to win after the match.
There we go. Because, well, so far predictions have been... Well, you are the king of predictions so far today, Bardolph.
I'm not the only person who picked on Mouse, right?
No, we're going to hear it ad infinitum from Christopher that he picked Mouse as well.
Yeah, he puts enough bets down, he may win once or twice.
Well, we're getting into Overpass now. NIP's Stronghold. This is definitely one of their stronger maps in the pool, and so we can expect to see them do well. Question of whether or not Heroic is going to roll over for it, though, because Heroic, they're no slouch on this map either.
Decoys deployed. Ooh, that's quite the headshot from Hampus, sliding out of the DMs rather than in.
I love it.
It's really annoying in a warm-up on Overpass. You can't slide around on the walls. In fact, I'm going to message them shortly about this because this is a serious fault and must be corrected immediately. Cadian in the bogs alone. The bravery of the man. Looking for more now. He's at a point of no return. 2 is fantastic for Heroic as they rotate up towards the A-bomb site. Behind smokes for now. Bomb planted as Device holds the angle with the Neo Noir Glock. Quick QQ. Keep everything feeling fresh. There'll be a flashbang to just slow down Heroic somewhat. ZTR's got one more, which he's lining up now as the push gets closer. Shush swings in just as the flash is deployed. They see multiple players by APC, but Heroic are taking their time here. I don't see a kit on these players, but they are pushing through now. ZTR and Device remain. They've got to get on this bomb quickly, and they may not be able to do so. 1v1, Device, it's time to dance. Show me his footwork, fancy footwork indeed, and it will be the pistol round for Ninjas in Pajamas.
And Nip off to that terrific start that we've expected to see out of them on the T side of Overpass. They've been winning this 11-4, 12-3, just insane score lines on T side Overpass against some fairly stiff opposition here in Flashpoint. Both of these teams sporting an 80% win rate on this map across 5 maps each. Really fun, actually, very even. But in Flashpoint, Nip have had the more one-sided, let's say, results. 16-3 against Anonymous, 16-6 against Big. Heroic, they just went toe-to-toe yesterday against Astral at 16-14. So a little bit closer, but they still won. They still got the job done. They also dumpstered Vitality 16-9 on the map. So both of these teams coming off of wins. And Rez is going to get the punish on Cadian. Mid-air jump peek? I think not.
Oh, man. That headshot sounded like an egg was smashed by a cricket bat.
That's, yes, yes, definitely.
Not that one. God. Reeling from that one. I'm just bearing witness to it. 3 remain for Heroic as Hampus and co look to deal. Oh, we've got some problems now. The Desert Eagles are starting to collapse on the situation. And there's another one. My God. The Desert Eagles have been in play this week like I haven't seen in a very long time. Klopski sees down behind default. He can't really fall back because then they both get weapons. But as that smoke goes, it becomes a 2 versus 1. The isolation is no longer. And the Galilfus down. My God. Air Force One here on Overpass.
They've done it. They have done it. They are not allowing Nip to get off to that flying start on the T side. Cadian and the lads. Dude, the Deagles, shush, Stan, just too good. Working together, just a threat that Nip could not overcome on this A site, and they are going to tie it up 1-1 right out the gates. You could say Heroic, I mean, they're running up against some pretty stiff opposition. The higher caliber teams, perhaps, on this map, and so maybe the record a little misleading for NIP, but still, remains to be seen here.
Make it $800, I say.
Get the bomb plant.
Make the Deagle $800.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. Things are getting out of hand, man.
It's pretty good. I mean, they nerfed the CZ. You could do the same here. Same thing here for the Deag.
Well, won't be as successful in the hands of Ninjas in Pajamas. I mean, I think the Deagle's in a good place. It's just the plays are too good, man.
But that's the thing. It was the same thing with the CZ. You're like,
I think that's broken.
Yeah, but I could never. I mean, I don't know. Like personally, I could never get it to work the way the Flusher could get it to work. Like. Flusher might
that
as well
doesn't
have
surprise me, Tebler.
Dude, he might as well have had a rifle in his hand, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could just point between someone's neck and just hold mouse 1 and it's easy. Like, it was very easy to kill with it.
Sure.
It was very abusable.
This is what makes the game so difficult to balance, though. Because how do you balance when you have pros and you have scrubs like you and me? You know what I mean?
You gotta balance it for the most capable.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you have to make something crap, you know? But here we go. Well, we won't be going for very long, it seems, because Cadian's got a lot of bonus money. You'll be finding these MP9 kills. That is an ace from Cadian in fast-forward motion.
Do you think Cadian's going to be able to afford to get an AWP?
Oh, I don't know. I have to have a look at the numbers here. Check the balance sheet. Oh, it's got $9,050.
That is ridiculous. That made up for all of the times that I see anti-ecos happen where it's the AWP getting a bunch of kills instead of the MP9. Cadian just made up for it. Thank you, Cadian. I appreciate that. That is how it's done. Let your opera just farm all of the money with the MP9.
An MP9 ace. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I'm not saying it's never happened, but I don't think I recall it happening.
It's a big deal kind of situation, though. But they are electing to hold on to the 2 MP9s, Heroic. They are just maxing money right now.
Yeah, and they can take liberties and just be more aggressive and maybe set the pace with that aggression. We can see Tesses and Stown are deep in the long position. Shush currently alone towards B, and we know B, people like to have fun towards this B bomb site. But maybe Heroic expecting a tone set by B towards A to begin with, but we got a 0-2-3 set up from NIP as far as A, mid, or connector and B are concerned.
Well, Tessis is peeking for information now. 57 seconds. It's about the time that the CTs need to start making plays for info. Tessis is pushed all the way up to Fountain now. Stamina and Refresh rotating over towards B, but it's going to be too late. Cadian did make it down here to help shush out, but again, too late. What a shot!
It's a good start. They've got incendiaries as well for the bomb plant. If they can find the angles in time, it'll be a HE deployed, so perhaps it'll be for the retake. And that incendiary will be really useful to go over this wall here. Take an angle away from the T's into the water there as well. It's a very strong one, forcing Plopsky into the open. Here comes the swing now. The trade is there for Cadian. ZTR will get the better of him afterwards, though. Looking to swing now on Storm at the back, and suddenly Tesses finds himself alone, flanking from T-Spawn. Suddenly feels like he's running out of time. Molotov in a short position. He'll force the aggression from Hampus, and the smoke is up as well. But ZTR is not going to get him, actually.
Dude, he's got time
to defuse it. I think he has.
He does? What a clutch from Tessis!
Oh my god.
Dude, this guy keeps showing just how powerful a player he is. That was sick.
And in general.
Get out of here. But this shot from Shoes. Dude. The boost over the top, you're just thinking, okay, they're going to be too late. They're not going to be able to have an impact. And yet there you go. Perfectly timed. Hits the headshot. Gives his team a fighting chance going into that retake. 4-1. NIP, because they get the bomb plant, they have enough money to buy. But now you get to see that economy from Heroic kick in. They're fully bought up. Cadian has got his AWP and then some. And now, oh, the aggression as well. Tessis just continues to bully them. Here, take this.
Oh, man. Heroic just showing how strong they are at all times. What a start from them. What a start. A turnaround from those Desert Eagles, and they find themselves suddenly at 4-1 when you may argue it should be 1-4, really. Or more in that direction at least. Heroic, though, like to take matters into their own hands on a regular basis to their benefit, of course. I'm loving the flanks as well. Always proactive. NIP want to take their time. They think they have the comfort to do so. But Heroic won't sit down on a man advantage. They won't stand on ceremony.
They were fully expecting this to be a B hit, Heroic. 4 players, all 5 actually, were towards B. Now they've rotated back up onto A. Heroic are going to murk Nip in a moment here. Fresh smoke goes down at long, but with a gap that can be taken advantage of.
Well, here comes push. Down goes the bomb, and it is a shooting gallery, of course, on this A bomb site. And this, like Ninjas in Pajamas, need to realize right now that they need to do more than this if they're going to beat Heroic on this map. Because right now, I feel like Heroic are ahead of them in the style they're playing. Again, their proactiveness and so on. They don't have any lurkers, and Heroic are taking the piss, as we would say in the UK. Well, they're taking liberties.
Heroic are not anonymous or big, you know? Is kind of the takeaway here that we should all be looking at, because this, we could have had the change of pace there. We could have had a little bit more aggression. I thought we would get the rush with the Tech 9s, but we are going to get the run now. So flashes in, ZTR Plopsky taking point, Shush lighting them up already.
Ooh. Man knows his angle, dancing around the pillar, gets 2 out of it despite the flashes. The last bullet from that spray from Refresh. That was quite fun to watch. Suddenly it's a 2 versus 3. Ninjas in Pajamas looking for more. I don't know if they find a bomb plant here. Perhaps they do if the smoke grenade avoiding the HEs as well. Hampus 50 HP, device on 5. Just watching at present. More grenades and flashbangs and a spray through the smoke. Then no one's in the water. There goes the bomb, device punctured. Leaving Hampus in a 1 versus 3. He won't last long either, as Tessis, of course, to get his 6th frag in the 6th round for Heroic.
Looking very comfortable indeed, Heroic. Nip, all right, Nip, that was fine. A wash, let it be. This is going to be the big round now because you have that AWP, you have the AK, you're going to have full nades as well. So you can really just ply your trade across the map with your NIP, and it can definitely go your way. It's not completely out of control just yet. You're just realizing the gap, maybe a little bit of overconfidence coming into this map for NIP. You know, this map has gone so well for them this tournament, on that T side in particular. So now they need to kind of make some adjustments here, take into account that Heroic are a different caliber of team. So Plopsky already getting dusted up in con, and there's Cadian. Beautiful shot onto Hampus to start. And did he blow up the door? Is that what happened with that HE?
The CTs will commonly blow the connector door because
Yeah.
if the Ts, for example, have short B, you may have a guy in connector who can just hold an angle on the door at the very least to stop the CTs pinching. But if the door is open, then the CTs can see into short B from the stairs. So it really compromises where NIP can stand. And you can make plays with the AWP as well.
This is the versatility of Cadian, though. It's like, do you think I'm somewhere else on the map? No, now I'm going to rotate over here to long. Unfortunately for him, he just barely misses out on the timing on Rez. And this is Rez's favorite part of the map. In the bogs. Oops, surprise, surprise. This is going to be very difficult. Now, Cadian, one and done sort of situation. You can see him trying to back off as fast as possible, and he is going to be able to make the run back to safety.
And he's gone.
Way too close.
Vanished like an infomercial, like a stain in an infomercial. 30 seconds now. They know Cadian is probably on the A bomb site, and they've got to find out where. Oh, wow. That is an angle from Device. That man is well studied on the angles, and that's the green light to move into the A bomb site. Rez lurking, waiting for a peek from Benq. Starting to swing now, as more control is required to plant this bomb, and Storm can swing with this. How do you plant the bomb at this point? 10 seconds, 2 versus 2. Tech-9s are out, and CTs are dropped. Shush. It's got a clutch Molotov bullet going in the right direction. They have to commit to this bomb plant, and the frag will come in from Plopsky. NIP with a much-needed second round.
Indeed. Before things got completely out of control and their confidence got completely battered, they actually get a second round on the board. It comes from hard work as well. That was a nice shot from Katie. But this trade here from Rez, this bodes well for NIP. Rez was very quiet on Nuke. If he can start waking up here on Overpass, because again, Nip rely on him to hit heavy. Device is sitting at the top of the scoreboard for him, but Rez has also been overperforming for NIP in the recent results, so he needs to start having a bit more of an impact, and maybe that duel with Tessus is the catalyst to kick him off here. Oh, dude, the timing.
Sometimes it'd be like that. They'll have to settle for a 4-round lead for the time being at least, and again, Heroic have half the map basically. They have no presence towards, well, less than half the map, let's say, because Connector is a question mark, and that's an important area as well. Now this is a setup.
This is so rare. What
I love
a wild
the HE as
setup
well,
to go
because it's
for.
like, look, we are here. Cadian will fade away from the smoke and keep an eye on things elsewhere for the time being. Device is lurking. One must be careful. And Ninjas in Pajamas will focus on long. Now, Device may be looking to catch a player swinging from long back to the site again. And that kill may change things, actually. Never mind the rest of my sentence. Cadian now posted up. The smoke's about to go, and the peeking will eventually be punished by Device. And again, it is the green light. Now, they might not expect 2 players on long. It could be a bait setup unless it's a swing, and they find all the information here. Tetes creeping now, and the flashbang's coming in a little too late. Will there be a trade? He hasn't seen Stown, from what I can tell. He's got a timing here. Surely nobody's watching long for the next 10 seconds, although ZTR is starting to wonder, looking towards toilets as well. And there's a free kill for Stown. 3-on-3. Refresh with lots of utility and a kill swinging from Connector. And the dream is collapsing again for Ninjas in Pajamas. Man advantage for Stown as he creeps from the box, but just like that, things turn around from a 3 versus 2 to a 1 versus 2. Refresh has the clutch. Sees bomb on the truck. There's the first one. 3 HP, and now it's down to 0. Plopsky again clutching another round for Ninjas in Pajamas as they move to 3.
And saving the AWP. That was a huge round. And again, massive clutch win for NIP. They can really start coming into their own here on this T side. But this is such a cool setup from Heroic. Cadian getting caught, fine, that's moot. But James, you really nailed it there. The fact that Stowen remains a secret the entire time, you really hope to get a double kill from him out of that situation. He got 1 with the delayed take onto A, but if he could have gotten 2 kills and really just gotten it all through, that would have been amazing. The fact that both A players, not really able to sell themselves too expensively there. It came back to haunt Heroic, and Cadian is missing shots. We're seeing a bit of a drop in performance from Cadian here, even though he's sitting at 10 kills, so it feels weird to say it.
Yeah, but that might be exactly what Ninjas in Pajamas need. They need to be given something by Heroic, who are certainly a much stronger team coming into this one at present.
Dude.
Maybe these little swipes will allow Ninjas in Pajamas to make something of this half now, because the money has been erased for Heroic. They have nothing to bring into the next round, save for what Tesis might be able to carry. And again, for those of you at home, this is the blind spot where, from the perspective of a T, rounding this corner, your gun in your right hand tends to obscure vision here, so you have to hard check that position, because if you don't, you start going up the stairs, you won't see the player there because your gun's in the way.
But keep in mind, Bardolph, you know what the new tick is. It's to change your hands, change the model, left to right. You know, so that's a good point. But I've seen, dude, have you watched some of these NIP players play? Some of these new players play? They're just constantly swapping the gun hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand.
I don't know
like,
what
dude,
button.
how do you play
I really
like that?
wonder what button people use to even do that. Let me know at home if you have a switch like that, a toggle, what you're pressing, because I have a button per grenade, so I don't really have any useful buttons to do such a thing. Maybe I need to get a pedal and play with that instead. Hampus falling back now, not wanting to make it easy to collect the rifle if he is charged. Makes the spray easier as well, harder for them to swing him if he makes the angle tighter. Less Desert Eagles in this round. See one in the hands of Cadian.
And, you know, this is an anti-eco, so we'll just leave it at that. But worth mentioning, I saw that on the sick behind-the-scenes videos that NIP are releasing regularly on their YouTube.
What, pedals?
No, the left-hand, right-hand stuff. But, like, NIP right now are releasing YouTube videos almost daily of the campaign here for NIP in the tournament, and they've been doing really well. Translated, because they're speaking Svensk, they're speaking Swedish. But really cool stuff. So if you're a fan of NIP, be sure to check out their YouTube and catch up on those behind-the-scenes videos, because they are proper. It's not them playing beer pong either. It's actually legit good stuff with the coach and whatnot. So get in on it, boys and girls.
What's your Swedish like?
It's actually, I was pretty pleased because I can watch and I don't need to look at the subtitles. So
oh, really?
So I was actually fairly pleased this morning because I was giving it a watch and I was like, oh, yeah, this is actually cool. It's still the problem for me, dude. It's like I have trouble speaking. My brain has not made the connection yet of, okay, you understand those words, now use those words. And my brain is still...
French was always like that for me. I could understand more than I could speak.
Yeah, that's the current struggle I face.
I had to use it or lose it situation as well, and I lost it, so rip.
But yeah, those are mega behind the scenes videos. Liquid do them too, but Liquid do like, you know, oh, they're playing beer pong and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't care about these players playing beer pong. I'd much rather watch them in a scrim or something so I can see like how they interact as a team or whatnot. But enough on that. Heroic right now, it's a good time to call for a timeout because NIP are 1 round away from tying up the situation here, 6-5. 4 rounds in a row on the T side though for NIP.
I'm just looking at the keyboard now.
Yeah.
Just like, where would I...
The mouse, I think. Usually you put it on the mouse.
Okay, so my side buttons, the front one either buys the flashbang and spawn or pulls the flashbang out.
Yeah.
The rear one buys the smoke grenade or pulls one out.
Same.
Middle button is R clear decals, buys the defuse kit and spawn. I suppose I could put it on that because my scoreboard button also does clear decals. So maybe I'll have an extra command for mouse 3. Ninjas in Pajamas will lose Hampus early, making plays through short B. He'll be denied with brute force bites down. Starters, you mean to proceed, stay Heroic, and NIP will try to proceed into this B bomb site, but Heroic will continue, refresh with an easy 3K, making great use of the M4A4. No weakness in this Heroic team.
And I want Stalin to now run to the other side of the map. Like, don't even hang around here, Stalin, unless you cast a stray grenade. Because you've got 16 HP, 15 HP. Just back off. Make sure that you absolutely 100% save your gun and stay alive. Everybody should survive now for Heroic. Rez should not get another kill. This is a big eco building opportunity for Heroic.
Well, the longer Rez waits, the more the A bomb site requires more defense. So again, a situation simply by waiting and cutting noise, he will have less players to deal with. He looks for a way in. Looking for a headshot onto Cadian now. 40 seconds Rez, more pre-fire. Cadian changes position, and he's back landing the shots. 11 for 7 Cadian, 7-5 for Heroic.
Yeah, everybody surviving. That's a massive win for Heroic. As good as it gets. And so 7-5, yeah. 7-5 on this CT side for Heroic, and they get massive value out of the boost. First time they've used it, and they get value out of it. And then Refresh just, you know, he's going to hit that spray all day long. So, excellent work. But NIP, of course, 4 rounds in a row meant that they have a bit of Benq to play with. So they're going to hit the ground running. No easy rounds left for Heroic in this half, it feels like. And that'd be another very early play to Sewers. This time around, Tessa's not boosted.
Yeah, they've got to take the game away from Heroic. Short B is important in that regard. The recent 4 rounds are so important for Ninjas in Pajamas as they head towards the CT side, round 13 of 15 here in this first half. And again, a big focus on the B bomb site. Counter flashes as well. There'll be a slight delay before NIP proceed. Refresh playing by the pillar on this occasion. And again, Heroic with that opening kill there. And NIP are stuck in a choke point. There's so many grenades coming their way, bit by bit by bit. Now they'll cut the site in half, Heroic, because they'll allow Ninjas in Pajamas into a certain level. Planting the bomb, though, is another question indeed. Still stuck by the choke point.
And then you still have Stavin all the way up and long right now. The discipline on this guy. They have yet to see the bomb.
Yeah.
They're not over-rotating on this Heroic. This actually could work in Nip's favor. Could let Heroic drop their guard a little bit on the B site.
Just looking for this play from Plopsky. Doesn't try to punish the reload. Plopsky's been patient and he will be rewarded. Minimal information now for Heroic. Where are Ninjas in Pajamas? We've got Stown holding the A bomb site, so things are a little weaker here towards B. Cadian, though, has an angle. One shot, one kill. Rez trying to trade, and now the bomb's been lost as well. Device 1 versus 4 with 14 seconds. He's got so much to do. He's halfway there, Device falling back now. Force him to plant the bomb. He's got 7 seconds to find 2 players. He's got no idea where Cadian is. Trying to bait him out, flying through the air. He saw the highlight coming, but he didn't have enough time. He saw the fear from Heroic, though. Hold on a second, guys.
Yes. That's where it starts to get a bit out of hand, and you guys need to hit the brakes hard. Freeze. Just do not face him. You know, there's 10 seconds left on the clock. He has to plant the bomb. Absolutely no reason for you to be facing. I was about to say that that was a perfect back-to-back round where you give up 1 kill in 2 rounds. If you're Heroic, you're more than happy. Losing 3 players, though, that round is actually going to put a pretty big dent in that economy that they were building. So Heroic, again, it's going to be a tough one, but because NIP don't get a bomb plant that round, they actually elect to go for a pretty decent half-buy here.
Smoked out and maybe soon choked out. Ninjas in Pajamas are in a difficult spot. They're running into it once again, and it's another brief round towards the playground area. Never mind A.
Nuts this time, Device.
Brutal.
Yeah, this is we're starting to see like some dominance get established here by Heroic. What is that? This has just been but I mean, this feels fairly common these days in CS. You're getting 4 or 5 rounds in a row, and then the other team kind of switches 4 rounds, and now Heroic are just establishing a streak again. Going into the 15th round, they've won the last 3. And it is just Device who's performing well right now for NIP, and the rest of the team kind of lagging behind, struggling to come up with the goods. It's an interesting challenge for Ninjas, especially after how well their T side has gone on Overpass so far. Shush, though, getting mauled, and there's Tessus getting taken out by Device. Again, Device having the impact here for the Ninjas.
Again, Heroic will take the fight to Ninjas in Pajamas, unbeknownst to NIP. Spots the shadow, he can visualize now. There is the peak, rare miss from Cadian, but he'll follow up with it. Some help from Stown as well. Looking for targets. I really want to know what his sense is. I know it's high. Shotgun mode, looking for the flick. Things start to slow down now, but there's still a minute on the clock here as they try to look over the smoke. It's just been spotted and swatted. And that will be a great chance for a final round in this half. Down holding down a long position now as they look to push in. The flashbang avoided, but he can't avoid the AK-47s, or the Galil rather. Refresh round the back won't be enough. NIP gets 6 rounds from the T side, which is pretty reasonable considering how strong Heroic were looking. We'll see if they can win their pick of overpass after the break. Very important pistol round is upon us. Ninjas in Pajamas are looking to take things to a third map of Mirage. I would love to see Mirage in this series. I think that would be an explosive decider, like diarrhea after some dodgy tacos. Let's see if we can get there. Heroic move to the T side. We've got a P250 for Stown. He's been made the raid boss. He's got armor as well. Purchased by Acadian. Very kind of him. And ZTL will have the smoke and defuse kit.
I told you to stop eating Mexican food with Maui. Come on, Bardolph. You should know better by now. This, however, is a stack on the B side for NIP. Life is going to get very interesting in just a moment's time. Flash over the top. No. Dry. From Heroic. Okay, there's a smoke going over the top, and they are just going to walk their way into this bomb site. This is outrageous. Heroic. Talk about making life difficult for yourself.
Oh, they just got pimp slaps, man.
Yeah,
Straight
no
out the door.
flashes, no nothing. They fully expected to just be able to lurk their way out onto that bomb site, and unfortunately for them, 4 players for NIP gathered up on B, ready to go.
That's a warning for the Ninjas as well, and what we might see from Heroic later on, because if we go back to Nuke, that round where they took the ramp and then 4 players walked down the ramp quietly and just surged into the B bomb site with minimal response for Ninjas in Pajamas. That may be a habit which comes through into this game of Overpass. We shall see. But first it might be a race car. Ferrari peeks into the B bomb site with the pistols. And there's basically nobody here. Well, there's one person here who is, I feel sorry for, because he is in isolation. That's Hampus. In these rounds, I see a rifle isolated so many times and picked up by the force buying team, it becomes a problem. Hold on a second, Sembler. What are you seeing here?
What the hell is Cadian doing? He's got the bomb and he's running out long? His team have got B site.
I can only assume he was receiving a pizza from a delivery company and was late to the proceedings because... What is this?
No, Cadian, nobody expects this, dude.
Maybe he wasn't expecting him to succeed and pick up an M4.
I mean, was this supposed to be a waterfall kind of strategy? Or
What does he plant for? Do they hear the beeps? I think they do.
the Vice is close enough to hear this
Oh,
and
here
go,
comes the charge! This is so weird!
what are they even going to do?
Oh my days, he actually lands it on the correct player as well. Target selection. How strange. Cadian has no Kevlar, the other two do, but they're low. That's a great angle for a fresh. What a weird round we're seeing. They have to believe that this is a troll. Down goes Device. MP9s are out for Ninjas in Pajamas. There's a 5-second diffuser. Smoke is up as well. ZTR's probably got this. Crisis averted, but my God, what even is that?
I don't even know what to make of that. That is actually one of the craziest rounds we've seen all tournament long. Let chaos reign at that point. I mean, it's just beautiful execute onto the B side. Very quick. All of the chain flashes as well. Nobody from NIP, if you were standing anywhere on that bomb site, would you not be blind? You were just eating flash after flash. So that is great. But then for Cadian to go all the way up onto A side and plant the bomb there completely throws everything out of whack. Don't even know what to make of that round.
We have to ask him what's going on there. Well,
So,
who's got a better buy? Who has the stronger buy?
who won the last round? Tell me.
2 AKs for Heroic. 2 M4s for Ninjas in Pajamas. A scout for each side. 2 MP9s for NIP, rather. 1 MP9 for...
Listen, they should not underestimate Rez in this sort of scenario. This is pretty much where he lives on this map. This little 4x4 square meter room that he's standing in is where he spends 90% of the time on Overpass. So there's the opening kill coming in from Tessus. The hero for Heroic against Astralis. Absolute monster. And
Oh my
sure enough,
God.
Rez is going to get a kill on Cadian.
Triple dink.
But the bomb planted. Nice HE on a stun. But in a post-plant situation now, this favors Heroic. And I still have a decent nade count to work with, though, so we'll see.
They've got to be a bit patient here with these smoke grenades. Lots of utility being deployed, starting to swarm the site now. The scout will be awkward. Got 2 kills coming in quick succession. Shush trying to close in on a diffuser. They've got to be doing some serious body blocking now, focusing on the high ground, but it's the low where the bomb is being diffused. Another smoke diffused for Ninjas in Pajamas on the A bomb site. Score is tied, and we just got ourselves a real match.
I take it back. I said that it was a favorable situation for Heroic until I looked at the nade count for NIP and all the flashes that they had, and I'm like, oh yeah, hold on. They're playing A-side overpass.
They had junk in the trunk.
They're all dead. Because these flashes, I mean, your retake, it basically turns into a T side. Just imagine NIP are the terrorists and they're taking the A site, and all the flashes that you get messed up with on the CT side, that's what NIP have. There's no way you're surviving on that bomb site if you're Heroic at that point. So they got blasted. Device now, aggro top mid from him, but there are still rifles across the board here for Heroic. They get that bomb plant and very quickly up to short, putting the pressure on here, refresh. Forcing the utility out of NIP. NIP showing up, giving us a good fight here on overpass. Heroic as well. I mean, these two teams are very evenly matched at this point. I mean, the NIP could be very happy that they spent as much money as they did on Device, because he is certainly a big factor as to why they're still in this map. 20 kills for Device. Runner-up on his team has got 10. That's Hampus. Whereas go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say plenty of pressure towards B we're seeing here. We saw Tessess lurking around the toilet, so I wondered if he would go further. But at least he knows there's no flank coming, because that has been a problem often. So maybe that's an adjustment from Heroic. We see some bunny hopping out of the situation. Around the corner, the pre-fire is here from Shush. Plenty of bullets. Those 5 extra bullets in the Galil versus the AK coming in handy there. NIP now having to escape this situation. Heroic looking dangerous again. Sorry, it's Heroic keeping an eye for a flanker. I've had too many energy drinks today.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
Well then, Ninjas in Pajamas will be trying to hold on to this AK and AWP. Now you wonder how many rounds such as this we're going to see in favor of Heroic. Again, NIP are the ones who are trying to force this to a third map of Mirage versus a stronger team of Heroic. It will be an uphill struggle for them on this CT side.
It certainly will. Man. If we just want to take it into account, I mean, the achievement already, for NIP, making it top 4 in this tournament, extremely competitive, stacked tournament, just going through the roster changes, safe to say, with ZTR joining the roster. I mean, this is already a fantastic performance from NIP. Of course, not saying that they don't want to go farther than this, right? Still,
everybody wants to go further.
Everybody always wants to go the different.
Squeezing more juice out of the battery.
But NIP, good work on them.
Can see both squads on the buy again, but there are some problems for Ninjas in Pajamas. We've got the UMPs out on the hands of ZTR. Well, the one UMP and a FAMAS for Hampus. Of course, that UMP nerf increased the damage fall-off at range. So he'll want to be up close with that. Has good armor penetration, though. So we'll see what he's able to do with it. We can see Rez will be the point man with an aggressive angle around the party position. This is nice if people are coming out of connector as well, because you can have an off angle as they approach the toilets, but Tessess will assume this is all compromised until he knows otherwise. Footsteps heard now. You can see Device rotating over towards A, as is Hampus, because Rez has the information. He's playing for the multi-frag, though. If Tessess is just lurking alone, he will eliminate him eventually. Do some containment now in connector with the incendiary. So NIP have the information. What can Heroic do with this? 40 seconds. Do they really want to force their way out of connector? I can't imagine so.
They have enough time to rotate up to A. 30 seconds. They can still rotate up to A. They're trying to sell this fake on B with Refresh and Cadian. 1-for-1 trade. And now we push up to A. Rez is rotated down. He's given up his position. There's a huge window, a huge opportunity here to get up onto this A side and get this bomb planted. They don't have any utility left. They have to get it done the hard way here, Heroic. Stal just has to stick this bomb plant.
Looking for more, looking for the transfer. Down to the 1 versus 2 now. Cadian has to commit to this. He's got no choice. Device can commit, and it's still a 1v1. Plotski just has to hide and win the round regardless. Boy, is it an expensive one for Ninjas in Pajamas, but the reads from Heroic are insane. They're absolutely insane. They commit one man in to confirm it's the B bomb site, yet they're still lying. They're compulsive liars. They head towards the A bomb site because why would you hold it at that point once they've sacrificed the man in that situation?
What a play from Blofsky, though. He saves that AWP at the end. That was split-second stuff, and he manages to make the run for it and get that gun, so that is a huge win. And they give it to Rez. Spawn, he's got it. He's going to be able to look to top, and it's not going to be top. It's going to be straight out onto B here from Heroic. All-out action.
Rush B, no stop. They've got a Mac 10 for the job. The flashbang, the chain flashbang. They get so many flash assist kills opening into a bomb site, Heroic. And look at this exchange. Down to a 2 versus 2. Only for a second, though. Rez got a clutch with the AWP now. What a violent round into the B bomb site. Both teams good for it, but it will be NIP on the back foot. Seems he might know that perhaps Refresh has had his bell rung. That's one of only 2 players, though. What if he engages the wrong one with this USP? Then what? He's playing a pixel angle at least. But this is not an ideal situation for him. And again, these mid to late round calls from Heroic, they're so good at them, making the right decisions. He'll make his presence known. But the patience has been good enough for Rez for Refresh rather, to avoid the grenade. Cadian focused now. The molly's up, you can stare at the high ground. Maybe the scope has been heard. And there is the final kill. Heroic in the lead now on the T side.
Not going to be quick enough to save that AWP, Cadian, but you do get the round. 11-10 now in favor of Heroic on the T side. And this gets that full buy going for Heroic. NIP, it's not going to be pretty. They're in double eco territory, and so what do, Bardolph? They go for Deagles. We're going to get the Deagle buy out of NIP now. They're starting to feel the heat a little bit here as Heroic. They had the gumption to go for the B rush last round. Now we shall see. A nice HE up to top mid. No, not going to do the damage. How does that not catch device? Well, we'll get a second one thrown in a few moments later. So Heroic now in this round, as they try to figure out what exactly NIP have got in store for them, they have spread out and they're playing contact.
It's a nice start from device. It's going to be a long round for the Ninjas though, with all these pistols. I feel like Heroic have had more Deagle success in this series. Again, let's not forget the start on Heroic CT side after losing the pistol. Things changed dramatically, very quickly racing to a 4-1 lead. Heroic being very patient while they have time on the clock. No one really here to... oh no, there's 2 players by the toilets actually. Heroic are creeping now, spot Blofsky, and how about that? The bomb's been collected as well as 2 rifles. And the bomb's in connector in a 5 versus 3. This is a really tough situation. A smoke as well. This could not be worse for Heroic. But they can start to thin the numbers as they wait for that smoke to dissipate. Look at the reposition now from Ninjas in Pajamas. Oh boy, now that is a game changer. How do you collect the bomb and plant the bomb? Blofsky ahead of the smoke. Some presence shown. This is a real problem. Hold on a second. They can turn around now. Rez with 2. He's got to run away. 12 seconds. Just run for your life. Oh, Refresh has a chance to actually plant the bomb. Oh my God. These rounds. Makes his way towards Monster. But where does Refresh go? He could be anywhere. The confidence to rotate away. It must be an exposed plant as well.
It is. Rez has no reason to think he's up here.
Oh my God, he's on A.
Hell?
Refresh is on A.
You mad lad. But yeah, Rez has no reason to think that he's up here.
Rez looking for an ace. He might get that, but I can't imagine he gets both. Oh, very nice peek from Refresh. He's got to just commit to this, man. It's already too late. I think it's time to run, Rez. Otherwise, you lose the AK. Whatever choice do you have? 12 rounds for Heroic. A great effort, though, from Ninjas in Pajamas. Always dangerous when you lose the bomb in connector.
Unreal. Rez, though, that double spray through the smoke. We're going to see it again in a moment here as he just went to town with the Deagles. Again, the Deagles are just so dangerous. Up close, Deagle spam. But what a play from Refresh to lock it down. The guy can come through in the clutch as well. Not only does he throw all the nades, not only does he get the multi-kills, he gets the clutches as well. 12-10 and a hard eco now coming up from NIP. Just no money in the bank for them to play with. They have to go and just, well, go for a gamble little bit of a play towards A right now, hoping that Heroic are going to run into him, but it's not looking like Heroic are going to take that bait. Heroic slowly going to work their way out onto B in a moment. Double spray through the smoke like that, though. How often do we see that? Not often. Different angles, too. It's not like they lined up. That's so sick from Rez.
A nothing round from the Ninjas in Pajamas. Not much to really offer on this occasion. What has happened to their success? Do they have it? Do they have anything left here? Will they be able to bring this one back once the fire rounds come? Shush will be a target now. That is an AK to be collected. He could get himself some nice kills, though, as the Lemmings come down the ladder.
Bit of a shame that he got cut off like that. That's the last thing you want to do is be gifting an AK over, especially in a hard eco where now you can see Hampus is just running to the opposite side of the map completely. It's down playing with fire, going on a hunt of his own. And Device is still hanging back, but he's got a P250. See if he can get out of here with a gun.
What is that? What's going on?
They spotted him. They know, they know, they know. Not going to be able to do more. All right, but Hampus now. Hampus will be able to save this AK for the next round. So let's see if this AK will make the difference for the Ninjas, or if Heroic are going to just blast through regardless. 13-10 buy round coming up now for NIP. Man, it's not even that great a buy round. Half the team has only got 4,000 in the bank. You're just going to be cutting corners here, hoping. FAMAS in order to be able to afford some nades for Plopsky. And same thing for ZTR.
4 of the last 5 rounds going the way of Heroic. Does not bode well for Ninjas in Pajamas, who've had FAMASs or UMPs in many of the last rounds. The struggle has been quite real and continues to be.
Oh, multi-nade to top mid, I like that.
Looking
if
for
Device had been around, that would have been rough.
Yeah, he finds himself at the toilets. And again, it's hey-ho over towards the B bomb site. The chain flashes are so strong for T sides while their team are fighting. Okay, then ZTR, 2 kills with the FAMAS. That's a great start. And a third player outside B is quite telling. There'll be some rotation. I can see Device making his way back towards the A bomb site. Perhaps he'll go through it towards B. Rez looking for info, though, because Heroic have penchant, but they like to use the clock, let's say that. And they will do so, moving away from B now. But so risky to play for information against Heroic, and Rez will find out exactly that. Rings a bell of Cadian, but again, there's still a minute on the clock for Heroic. They could go either way. I can see Plopsky going through the monster smoke, so there's some information much needed. You kind of have to make these plays versus Heroic. Otherwise, they will sink you.
That smoke is going to keep Device here, however. This could rotate. They could have rotated back through connector. This would be crazy. But it doesn't look like that's what... oh, yes. Do they do it? Come on, that would be so sick. No, it's not looking like it. 24 seconds. They say this is going to be too tough if Plopsky's waiting around. We have to get in here as quickly as we can. And Shush hits a beautiful headshot on Device to kick things off. Hampus playing behind Optimus.
Oh. There's Plopsky just in the nick of time again. Plopsky with the final kill. Seen that one before. You can see what it means to Rez. A bit of a fist pump there towards the end. They want this to go to that third and final map. And, well, they've got more work to do because there's a lot of money in the hands of Heroic. The full buy is coming straight through. And it's still up to NIP to kind of put that pendulum back in their favor because it has swung the way of Heroic from many of these recent rounds. And having just the one round won't be enough. They need to string them together for this comeback. 2 rounds behind at present. Both teams buy within the last inches of their economy, so someone's going to be broke after this.
Oh, let's see. All on the line, pressure situation. If NIP were going to make a move, now would be the time. A lot of young players on this team. The pressure is going to be enormous. Heroic, they've won tournaments recently. NIP looking to make that play. Let's see. There's Don. Oh,
wow.
Trade. The spacing just ever so slightly off. Tessus, does he catch out Rez? You have to expect Rez in restrooms now.
Oh, Falling back.
Oh,
They're
he
all
still gets a
coming for him.
kill!
If he runs towards Lung, maybe Device can post up for him, but he chooses to stand and fight instead. Still a man advantage, though, for the Ninjas. Tessus now having a look with the AWP. Device holding off angles. You can see Hamper starting to creep now. He sees the shadows. The pre-fire is here. The Molly to buy some space for himself again. You never know when Device is going to appear once more. Holding the inside of the toilets. Tessus shooting on the outside. This is a standoff. A drug deal's gone wrong, and bullets are going to be fired. Hamper's creeping around the smoke. He has a chance to make it back to the site now with Device posted up for him. And indeed he will. 25 seconds. The clock starts to become low again. Heroic continues to pursue the A-bomb site. That's an important flash. They'll see Device at least. Going for the repick. They line up for him. Absolutely perfect. Tessus has a decision to make now. He's got $0 in the bank in AWP, 32 HP and 7 seconds versus 4 Ninjas. So I think it's time to save.
Counter-terrorists win. And that will be Heroic backing off and putting Nip in a winning position now. Nip, with 4 players surviving, gets to build the bank, and Rez just continues to get value out of this Cubby and Restroom. He is just continuing. That is his spot on the map. If you want to check a heat map, just look at him. I mean, if you figure it out real quick. He spends so much time on the CT side there. If you're not hard clearing it, you might as well just assume that he's going to be there. And then he still gets a kill out of that situation. It's actually crazy. But as far as Heroic are concerned now, it's Cadian, rightfully dropped the AWP, so let's see if he can come up with a big impact here. Early anti-rush sort of posturing coming in from NIP, at least at the start. 4 players towards B. Hampus setting up his teammates as well for a little peek. Cadian, oh, not going to find the angle. Not going to find the timing. He's just daring Hampus to take the peek. Well, this will be it.
Oh. Oh, it just goes past the angle.
Right over the top.
Very nervous territory for Ninjas in Pajamas. You feel like Heroic are stronger at all times, so when you see that peak coming, you expect disaster. Classic AWP setup we see here. Device looking through the toilets with his teammate at Divider, and Cadian again re-emerges. We saw some footsteps made there towards toilets, trying to pull rotation, trying to get him to peek for information. All these pistoling plays are still alive, and the Anarchy is about to begin. Sorry, the chaos on the Anarchy. The bomb's been dropped, though. And now there is a chance. This is already a massive problem for the Ninjas. Cadian's posted up on the low ground. Where are the flashbangs? Not here in time. 4 versus 2. Heroic using all the tools as strongly as possible. And again, they look to break the back of Ninjas in Pajamas. They don't have the money to survive this, really. They have to hold on to these rifles.
I mean, you have to survive this if you're Nip. Rez is going to take down Tessus. But there's the trade kill. Cadian going to remove him from the picture, and now Device at this AWP has to back off and save it. And yeah, I mean, breaking their back, it's like Bane dropping Batman across his knee. Nip are just in so much trouble now. Money is not going to be looking good for them. They have no loss bonus to fall back on. They can get a buy, but it would just be so slim. ZTR and Plopsky have got money, but Hampus and Rez are broke. Just explosive plays, though. I mean, Heroic are able to just get right on in. They take advantage of the space that Nip give them. Allowing them to set up shop like that on short just means that they can pull that trigger and get out onto B so quickly, and Nip just have to be perfect when that timing happens. And unfortunately for Nip, they just were not able to connect. And so Nip, yep, they're going into it, dude. All the money on the line. Deagle on Hampus, UMP on ZTR, and Heroic are looking to take advantage of this. They know that the nades are going to be light on Nip's side.
Ooh. Sound pushing like a wild man. Look at the confidence here. Plopsky finds 2. Heroic's trying to swing into the bomb site now. And it's cut in half, as we can see. Oh, you've got to be real careful. Cadian's always waiting for a mistake. Once these smokes go, there'll be a lot of action here. Stown ready for the first one, looking for more now. Rez will cut him down though, and that leaves Shush and Cadian. NIP would love enough players alive to get some upgrades here. Hamper still doesn't have a primary weapon. ZTR on the SMG, big spray. Shush looking for the trade fragger, but not gonna make it too easy for them. Rez pops out at his leisure, leaving Cadian to lose an AWP, but down goes Rez. 40 seconds, hold on a second. We've seen Cadian clutch before. Hamper's creeping through the smoke. It's 3 versus 1. 30 seconds remain on the clock for Cadian. Oh, he's spotting them. He has 6 bullets to find 2 players and 25 seconds to do so. ZTR close now. Cadian's ready for these quick scopes. Edging forward, and then there was one. ZTR with the UMP, half health versus Cadian. The AK is out, the spray. 14 seconds. The USP, my God. Heroic so dangerous, doesn't matter how many, but why the smoke push in a 3 versus 1? Why? Why, Semler?
So sick, though. And, dude, do you see that? The fake as well. He fakes as if he's going to go to short. He fakes as if he's going to go to sewers and up to A as well. That's that jump towards the short. If they're not watching, they may think, oh, no, he got through. He's going to be able to rotate off. Do we need to rotate off? What's going through our minds at that point? Cadian, it's 4D chess, man. What a beast.
Cadian is cracked.
Oh, it's so sick.
Perfect cover with the pillar to just dance around, make it so hard for them to combine.
Well, now we're going to get the counter force by coming in here from Heroic. 3 rifles, 2 pistols. It isn't pretty on either side, but they do save an AWP for NIP, and so Device has got his op. Similar situation to what we saw in the last round. Device and Rez playing together, holding down mid. ZTR, Plopsky, and Hampus on the B site. As far as Heroic are concerned, they want to go back to the well.
They're so good at hurting you, Heroic. Even if they don't win the round, you are going to come out of it covered in bruises and cuts.
Actually, hold on. Look at this fantastic job that NIP have done with their nades. They've hardly used any grenades at all. Heroic don't have many nades to work with, and so they haven't been able to force NIP to use any of their nades. A fresh smoke going down at 40 seconds on Monster. Rez has got another one. He's coming up on a flank, but Cadian has no reason to believe that this is even going to happen. Cadian setting up his teammates, and Rez is going to hit a perfect timing to gut them all.
Where's the Rez kill? Hasn't come just yet. There it is. 3 versus 2. It can still be done. Refresh up close. Awkward for Device. The crouch, no scope. Leaves Down alone. 1 versus 3. It's his turn to clutch now. Can he do it better than Cadian managed to? Hold on, maybe he can. Running out of bullets, he's got space to reload. The jump peek over. Does he commit to this? Device creeping up now. Down he goes. Stown makes it look easy. Absolutely insane plays from every individual on Heroic. And they find themselves at match point. And that damage from Cadian is really going to hurt now.
Does this just break your back if you're NIP? It's like Cadian almost takes you 1v3, then it's Stown this time getting the job done. Everybody on Heroic can clutch. They can do it all. It doesn't matter who the last man is alive on Heroic. All of them can beat you. It's unreal. 15-13. And now,
just shy of a 30 bomb as well in regulation.
Yeah, Stown with the 30 bomb. Device 28 as well, toe and toe. But now Cadian is caught up. He's at 25. It's just monstrous right now. It is utterly monstrous. But the buy round, dude, it's Deagles and Kevlar. That's all they can afford, NIP. This is brutal.
It really is. And this just shows how strong Heroic are. Absolutely insane. They believe in themselves. They've assembled an extremely capable team. Cadian has stickers from one major. From one major at the moment. And that's starting to look like a travesty. It's been a long road for Cadian, but he's heading towards some new ones.
Set himself up for success. One of the best teams in the world right now, Heroic.
And some style as well. They have to be just gaining fans every time they come out to play, because how can you not be a fan of this level of aggression?
Also just that the players, they pop off every time, dude. There's so much personality on Heroic. Total ballers. But this time it's looking like we're going to get an A hit. Not something we see every day here. It's been a lot of B action, but here we go. Nades getting set up for Heroic, ready to push through. Rez and Hamp is holding close. Device is here, ZTR is here, and Plopsky's on the flank. Can Heroic do it? NIP they're going to put up a fight.
Looking to the flank as well. Cadian with the spam, not quite. Hold on a second. It's Josh's turn now. 1 versus 4, made 3 with the kill onto ZTR. We're not done just yet, Semla. We're not.
We are not indeed. These quick flanks coming in from NIP are making all of the difference. Plopsky setting up, but also NIP just calling it. They knew that this was going to be an A hit. They had 4 players ready and waiting on A, overlapping layers of defense. And again, we've just seen how effective these Deagles are.
They only managed to get the 1 rifle in that round, Ninjas in Pajamas. Plopsky picked one up. Whoever the other guy was only had a CZ to bring into this round, which maybe sees Hampus on a FAMAS. Now, ZTR could have dropped him a weapon, but then he wouldn't have any grenades. So, it won't be perfect, but my God, if they could actually do this, that would be, I would be kind of impressed. If it even goes to overtime.
Yes, if it goes to overtime, I think that's an achievement as far as NIP are concerned.
And we can see there are shortcomings for Heroic now. It's not quite an AWP, the AK-47 in the hands of Tesses, but they know how to, they are so disciplined in rounds such as this. Now, if NIP, I mean, what do they do? Do they pay them too much respect again and allow them to concentrate into a bomb site as they did last time? We shall see. Rez playing Spawn with the AWP. Not going to outstay his welcome, starting to fall back now as once again it's Monster and Short B, which has a huge focus from Heroic.
Oh, the meta right now is definitely to clear up sewers. NIP not really doing too much about it. Instead, wanting to just hold from the B bomb site. Device is rotated up onto A to back Rez up. Rez is going to get that information, see if anybody is out long. So the longer this goes on here, NIP being proactive about this. Stown is going to make some noise towards longer. At least he's peeking for information right now.
That's the balcony smoke lined up. So Tessis is jumping as the grenades bloom and explode. Looking for Hampus, that's the AK and the opening kill. As time ticks on, maybe things get sloppier. Rez doing what he does on long, and Device starts to rotate, but have a look at Heroic.
They smoked up her as well, but Device isn't buying it. Device isn't taking the bait.
Either way, it's a 4 versus 2, and again, a rifle in a forward position. Oh man, the Tech 9 from there? 3 versus 4, NIP in trouble, but look, there isn't time on the clock here. Device with the flick, out with the CZ now, has to stay alive and just dance. And we head to overtime after all, 15 apiece. That was the hard way. There is no harder way than what NIP just did there.
And just getting ahead of it. Device, man, 33 kills in regulation, 33 kills, 4 assists. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into overtime.
Oh, we're not going to break, but the players are. We will be here, but there's a 2-minute break in overtime.
Okay, well, thank you.
Don't worry about it. $10,000 per person for overtime. My God. Is there a way that Ninjas in Pajamas can prevail in Overpass? Is there a way? Are the hardest rounds behind them? That's my question. Are the hardest rounds behind? I don't see how they could get more difficult. I don't see. How does it get worse for Ninjas in Pajamas than
for NIP?
In terms of their CT rounds, like the way they've been suffering versus Heroic, the way they've been, like that round of the AWP and the pistols and so on, right? They just all the worst rounds. I feel like they lost.
Sure. Well, Heroic now. I mean, now Heroic have got money, so that's how it gets worse, Bartolf. These past few rounds have been a bit touch and go, right?
I don't know.
Been a bit back and forth, not full buys, you know, just a bit light on the nades. Now you're going to get to go up against a Heroic who are going to be fully bought up.
I feel like sometimes the rounds where they don't have a full buy are harder to deal with. The forced buy rounds where things are funky because it's like, what is trying to find the right level of bringing the game to your opponent and so on, but risking like losing a rifle, not really knowing. They become even more unorthodox, so you don't really have so much expectation apart from there is going to be a surge somewhere. So I think they can be weirdly difficult to deal with as well.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
You know?
the Deagles, we've seen how effective Deagles and Tech-9s can be.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. But right now, I mean, you're going to get to go up against a fully bought-up Heroic on the T side, meaning we've seen how effective their takes can be on that B side if they have full nades. NIP can really struggle with that sort of setup. So now I fully expect, well, I mean, same can be said for NIP, of course. They're going to have a full buy on their side. But this is also just...
It's time to show us what you've learned, right? We've been in the classroom. Now it's, well, I guess we're still in the classroom.
We're all learning,
But
right?
we're at the
all learning
whiteboard now. Show us what you've learned, Ninjas in Pajamas. I want to see a third map. And I also don't want to be bottom of the predictions list, even though I'm already the champion.
Exactly. They kind of screwed you up there, though, you know? Because you were so far ahead. I don't think even any of us could have caught you in the playoffs either.
No. Well, maybe. I don't know.
It would have been
we'll
a struggle.
Know. Yeah, it would have been it would have required exceptional performances.
So you see, Monty had to break the game. That's what we're getting at.
Right.
Had to just go ahead and, oh, you know what? We're going to reset it. And you know, best of luck, everybody. And then look at that. Monty's in the lead.
Yeah, replays at Flashpoint.
Who would have guessed?
2 AWPs out for Ninjas in Pajamas, and maybe that is the difference that they were looking for, but there will be flashbangs, chain flashes towards the party position. You can see the jump peaking as well. Tessa's looking for a player in an elevated spot. Device has outstayed his welcome. Always the problem. Falling back from the party or making a play in connector and falling back. He's dead, taken out in isolation. That is a hard lesson to learn. Ooh, Plopsky, that's a very dangerous peak indeed. A brazen one. He's spotted moving from right side to left. That may be crucial information for Heroic.
Indeed, but having lost a man, there's a lot of utility gone as well here. And so Tessus is still lurking out by birthday, trying to see if Rez was going to make his way around here or not. Rez, of course, is over out at long. Could be getting in to restrooms, his favorite cubby, in a moment.
Ooh. Didn't go too deep there, Hampus. There was a player stuck by the wall. Well, that's the reveal of that AWP. That's the advantage of it. Just walk into that second angle. They know Device's AWP is long gone here. We see it on the floor right now. That timing is awkward for Tesses. He's looking at the bench because he's trying to drop silently, fall off the ledge, release crouch. But his timing is just not favorable. But that will certainly help Ninjas in Pajamas, and they need the help. Cadian trying to get towards that truck position. A little late, but he's here. And he's got Shush in position as well. Don't count against Heroic. 2 versus 4, but we've seen so many clutches already. And it begins. 2 HP for Cadian as they try to stop him from planting the bomb. Plopsky's got a HE, but he's in an angle to use the AK instead. And now it's down to Shush. His turn in the clutch now. 1 versus 3. Starts off well, but Hampus has the angle. And NIP take the first round of overtime.
And a critical round at that, because again, guys, $10,000 starting money goes really fast if you're buying AWPs. Now Nip can even save an AWP. That is fantastic for them.
Yeah, they save 2.
But if you're losing rounds at the very beginning, it can get very difficult by that third round to have full buys. So for NIP, who are on the CT side, the more expensive side to re-upgrade, to re-equip on, winning the first round is critical in this first half of overtime. So well done on Nip's side. Heroic feels like they kind of let that one slip through their fingers. One pick after another going against them. So now we're going to be in a position where Heroic are going to feel like their backs are to the wall. They need to fight back here, tie things up before it gets out of hand, and Nip really start to extend that lead.
Oh, we got bonus mollies. Hold on a second. Stan's going sentry mode once again, creeping in the smoke. Grenades avoided by ZTR. Oh, okay. Cadian says hello. Again, being so close to a smoke when your tracers are firing every third shot can lead to such a situation like this trade frag that we see from Cadian. Can't expect that to happen though. Oh, Rez finds some info in the most brutal fashion, and now these AWPs need to start getting popping. Heroic so good with the flashbangs though. We start to see them rain in. That'll be a nice frag for Device though. There's a lurker on long, so he's going to have some problems. Heading towards long. There is the smoke to isolate the situation. How is he still alive? Cadian's creeping a bit slow, otherwise he'd probably be dead, Device. But here he is, suddenly a 3 versus 2. Shush in front of the sights alone as Device looks over the smoke. Jump wasn't spotted by Device, but he will be taken out anyway. And Cadian starts to creep now. Things turning around. Hampus in a 1 versus 2. Bomb heading away from the A bomb site towards B, and Hampus going down the stairs to go up towards Benq. So he's going to be very out of position. Oh, hold on a second. Shush going towards long instead, and this could be a peek. Cadian has the smoke. Does Hampus scope in around the smoke? That would probably be the GG for this round. Oh, he's got all the information, but he can't get a second shot, and the score is tied.
I can't believe how close these rounds are getting, dude. This is outrageous how close it is between these two teams. Mind games on mind games. Shush rotating back around. No reason for Hampus to expect that at all. And that was a shot from Cadian. But also, this is Device. I mean, Device, he just plays that position so well on A site with the AWP. He knows how to dodge those flashes. He's so brutal. He's almost always good for 1 kill there. And so once you let Device get up into that spot, it's going to be bad news bears for you. But Heroic somehow gutted out 16-16. And, well, ZTR has to go for a UMP so they can afford some nades. Rez for a FAMAS. It's light. Heroic were thinking about playing quick. But speaking of playing quick, Rez already pushed all the way up to T-spawn. This is crazy.
Yeah, but is 4 people enough to hold the B bomb site? That is another question. If he can flank, if he can impact these players before they come in. Oh, Blotsky! That's the man with a plan who can. A massive, a monstrous 3K. They need these rounds on the CT side. Such a struggle for them. The reload in for Stown, and he will be punished by Rez. Cadian, 1 versus 5, a minute on the clock. He got close when he was on the B bomb site, but he's not even there yet. It does begin, however. 1 minute now for 4 more players to be capitalized upon, exploited. They have so many angles, though.
Oh, blind as well. Hampus is going to get that kill. Well, now we go into the thick of things here because this is going to be Nip on the T side. Not the strongest T side in regulation from them. Fair enough. But now we get to see what they're going to be capable of here. Can they show us a bit of that magic, as we call no breaks from the admins, no breaks. But as we get, you know, do they have a little bit of that magic that we got to see against Big and Anonymous, where they just went on complete and utter tears? We're looking for the first team to reach 19 rounds for a win here. And so the pressure is on. Can Nip stand up to the task? Stalin is quieted down in this overtime. So we'll see if that changes up now that he's on the CT side.
One problem was mid to late game Heroic just making the right pushes and flanking Ninjas in Pajamas. That was one of the biggest issues in my opinion, and what we saw when NIP were on the T side. So that is something to look out for. They have a good spread for the time being. In terms of that positioning connector on the stairs, the internet are commonly saying they use mouse 4 to toggle. One person uses C and V. Probably want to make a toggle for yourself unless you're comfortable. One button always better than 2. Toggle the weapon between your left hand and your right. Well, some potential sound cues conceded. Presence shown towards A and long as well, which will pull Heroic out of position. You can see NIP are showing plenty of presence now. But how do we get those 2 players into the game? They're swinging on the A bomb side, actually. Really selling this A play. Can they get a kill, though? It's down in the front of the side. In the meantime, the push comes in towards B, but they're still ready. Shush on the high ground. Refresh here as well. Bomb is miles away. And there is the opening kill from Hampus. Heroic static on the B bomb site. Non-believers until they see the bomb at the very least.
Oh, yeah. And they also had Tessus flanking through Banana all the way into Connector. So they had so much information to go off of Heroic. They had the early warning not to rotate off of B and to be ready at Monster for that push. We saw this in regulation, and Heroic, I mean, they're going to be wise. They're going to know, okay, you pulled out on us once. We start to see the telltale signs of it happening again. We will indeed be ready. Very well done there by Shoes. And so now 17-17, all tied up. But 4 players surviving there for Heroic means a whole lot of money for them to work with. They no longer have to worry about that at all going forward. And IP, at the same time, fully bought up.
Oh.
Whew, okay.
Well, there's an opening kill for Ninjas in Pajamas. I don't feel like I've said that too often.
What a shot from Stan. or from
Yeah.
Device onto Stout.
Instant response from Heroic. Always proactive, always looking for something to take. But how about this as a flashbang? Shush stuck in the corner now. Ninjas in pajamas move into the B bomb site. They swarm TeSeS and Cadian. What do they choose to do? Well, Stout's the only person short of money here, so they'll probably go for this, I would imagine. ZTR, though, may put a stop to this. Shush is 7,200 in the bank, so TeSeS still has to go for this, I think.
No, he has to, yeah, you get the op. If you want to run double op, Stout has no money.
Shush is going to have towards $9,000, but let's see how it works out. 8,600. Well, let's see what they buy.
I think you just buy an M4. Drop an M4 for Stout.
NIP have game point.
Yes, they do.
This is quite the scenario.
And Mirage would be the third map between these two teams.
I want to see Mirage.
That would be wild. If we go the distance like this. Right now, as far as Heroic are concerned, again, presence toward top mid. 3 on B. Not expecting any kind of early rush or aggression out of NIP.
Man, this is really like climbing a mountain with no ropes for ninjas. They've been hanging a few times, you know, just one grip.
It's crazy.
But here they are. Here they are, and it's a great opportunity that they won't want to mess up, but this could be a collapse already. TeSeS with a rare single kill when he had an opportunity for 2. Oh my God, this is, if you're a fan of NIP, God, this has got to be some heart racing stuff. Cadian now moving to the point of no return. There are 2 players towards long for the time being. The scope will be heard. Now, will that rotate somebody in to support him? Plopsky has got some sound cues here, surely. There are many developing positions and situations here. Oh, Rez looking for Cadian, but can't really do anything about it. And Cadian may get another 1 versus 1, falling back with a smoke. Device looking for it. In the meantime, Stan boosted up, bomb dropped, and there are the trades. Device 1 versus 3. Maybe heard attacking for Cadian. Can he find him though? Behind that smoke, he's escaped. 29 seconds in this round. There's a flank in position already. Device is surely doomed.
What is going on? Well, he catches one out, but that's going to be it. 18-18, tied up. Heroic forcing a second half of overtime. Really testing NIP's mettle.
Cadian rotated round and basically ran at Device to force Device to shoot him to make the trade even easier.
Ah, you see, okay. Setting it up for the teammates.
Whether it was the intention or not, that's essentially what happened. That was pretty funny to watch. And pretty impossible for Device.
I like how on Heroic's side, nobody buys 2 flashes. It's just 1 of each.
Well, let's see what their intentions are with these high explosive grenades then. We'll have to pay attention to that. Definitely more flashes on the T side.
Ooh, careful, Shish.
Right then, NIP continue on this T side. Huddled together with a focus towards 8. They have no B presence, and we know that Heroic like to press W, so we'll keep an eye on things. AWP angles taken away, standard stuff. Smoking toilet, sometimes a molly towards Divider as well, but as you can see, it was left open as an invitation that has not been taken by Heroic.
Heroic have got this similar setup that we've seen from Rez and Device. TeSeS holding close with the rifle. Cadian watching his long angle with the AWP.
It's a classic setup, which is broken by a Molotov being thrown inside. Bounced off the divider walls. But we may not see that on this occasion. Hampers has the only Molotov, and they may look to hold on to it for the bomb site itself. Well, things are about to escalate in the wrong way for NIP. Or are they? 3 versus 3 now. Cadian makes it 2 for Ninjas in Pajamas. Looking for another 1v1. That's the bomb carrier now. Rez eating flashes on the bomb site. Support flashes from B. 20 seconds left. Heroic with superior positions. Rez now It's got to commit to this bomb plant surely, but where are the CTs? Moving into position, waiting to strike. One's actually heading towards the B bomb site, wondering if he's rotated. There is a fake for refresh. The molly is up. Oh, it's spread far enough, and there's a big swing, but there's no time.
Dude, what is this crazy madness? Refresh thinking that he had stuck the bomb plant that he'd whiffed with that incendiary, and so he goes in, but no chance for the clutch for Rez that time. Tessus, though, doing a great job. Double spray down. Opportunity was presented to him. He got the job done. And yeah, unfortunately for Rez, he's just not going to find that second player there. So 19-18. Looking for the first team to reach 22 rounds. Oh, and the smoke goes down, and this is going to get interesting now. Tessus holding very close. Caden also a presence in connector, going to show that, and that can act as bait. But now Tessus is going to be firmly stuck out here. He is going to be hard pressed. He's hearing footsteps all around him.
What is the timing like?
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
He's alive though. The pre-fire is there, but he's too low health. One round to the goods. Oh, heroic. Cadian getting sprayed through the smoke. Oh my god, this is just violence everywhere. And again, we've got a push from heroic. Somehow they come out on top towards B despite being in a man disadvantage. They can concentrate on the A bomb play, or can they? Things are becoming, they're getting very, very out of hand here. What is happening?
They're all getting shot in the back.
Overtime rounds. Everything just goes crazy.
That's just the really rough one for Tessus. He just, with Cadian not there, excuse me, to block off Plopsky and connector, there isn't a whole lot that he can hope to do. He's just stuck out there. So brutal turn of events for Heroic. It feels like that round that they wanted to set up just kind of fell flat. And NIP, the patience pays off. So they'll be tying it up 19-19 here, going into the last round of this half. And so, I mean, if Shush can save this AK, that would be pretty dandy. The money is not terrific by any stretch for Heroic. These have been very close rounds. Oh, does Hampus find him? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. So, tied up, 19-19. NIP now, straight B rush, YOLO.
What? I don't know why Hampus stopped hunting.
Good question.
Maybe it'd be a little shy on grenades, or I don't know. Perhaps. There's plenty of money to share the wealth on the NIP side. It's Heroic. It feels like it's Heroic's map to lose, despite it being NIP's pick. Such is the nature of being the stronger team.
And having won the map on, I mean, against stronger opposition as well. It's worth keeping that in mind for Heroic. They've had a tougher path.
Got that fast boost to look for NIP players making their way towards short B. Don't find them on this occasion. Oh, the HG's gone the wrong way. Down goes Refresh. Hold on a second. We've got problems on this B bomb site. Great timing from NIP. Heroic caught completely off guard. 3 players rotating from the A bomb site. They don't have defuse kits either. I'm not sure if there's one on the bomb site. But indeed, the problems are compounded for them. Cadian doesn't have any Kevlar. He's like Iron Man without the suit. He's naked. Tony Stark. 3 versus 5. Cadian deleted. Never gets to maybe even fire a bullet in this round. This is not going to be an easy one for Heroic. And there are the trades. 1 round lead for Ninjas in Pajamas as they move to the CT side.
And NIP, they are really holding up well under the pressure. I was definitely wondering how they would perform when it was all on the line here in this overtime against Heroic. Doesn't even seem to matter that it's getting to match point or anything like that. They are still hanging in. 20-19, they take the lead on the CT side, going into this CT side.
38 kills for Device.
Yeah, doing work. Device, I mean, he's the only reason they made it this far, to be fair. Beginning of this map, it was looking a bit grim there for Nip. Nobody really popping off. It was only Device who was getting any kills for him.
Yeah, he is the extra gear that didn't exist before he joined the roster. He is a unicorn who's never eaten a dime bar, but lives in Sweden.
He's never eaten dime.
Yeah, he didn't even know what it was, which I respect, to be honest. You know, he's a man who eats clean food.
Okay. Still, not having had a dime.
He's got to try one time, right?
Dude, yeah, you try it at least once. Maybe it's just pure sugar, but, you know.
I will bring him a dime bar one day. Reyes will bring some headshots, however. He will find an opening kill for Ninjas in Pajamas, and those have been rare. Reyes doing 180s now. Where does he go? Force through the flames, but he'll deliver the kill. Oh, that's the bomb as well. The bomb's in connector. That's a huge issue.
Oh, Tessus is going to catch Device, though, so that opens up this A site, but there's only 45 seconds left. Refresh is here.
Oh, that's glorious.
Easiest shot of Rez's life.
That is apple crumble right there. Absolutely delicious for Ninjas in Pajamas. Rez, the hero of the day. Now he is the bait. He sets the trap. ZCR punishes. Keep your guns out because Tessus is on the way. I think he's been seen. He's been heard now as well. And maybe for NIP, he is the evil. Well then, is this the run? Is my question. They have 2 opportunities to take this to Mirage by force, no less.
It's looking better and better for NIP. And Rez, man, quiet start, definitely lacking the impact on Nuke, the first map of this series, but here he's dropping 33 kills, overtaking Hampus. And there is really no weak link. This is such an even match between these two teams. It's incredible to see. Double AWP online for NIP. Heroic, though. They are ready to dance. Rez once again pushed up aggro, though. Let's see, does this catch him out or not? He is going to get the drop on him. Another kill from Rez. He's feeling it. Looking for the second. He gets the headshot. Tessus is going to be low, and that's Rez's job done.
See if it pays off for the NIP squad. Heroic have equal players and plenty of time. Grenades flying towards the A bomb site. Device will be the information man and part with the AWP around the bogs, the toilets, the loos, the lavatories, the toilets. Hampus rotated up for a time as he has question marks towards that long position. We'll see how long he stays there. In the meantime, it's a 4 versus 2 situation on the B bomb site. There will be problems for NIP. They may be able to fall back with this, but what else can they do? Can they cut the site in half with the grenades? Plopsky hiding behind the woods. There could be flashes for him. I think he's been spotted already. And down goes Hampus. Plopsky in trouble, but he's always in awkward situations, and he often delivers at least 1 kill. Shush in the water. Plopsky to deliver the kill now. 30 seconds, still alive, and there it is. 22-19. Ninjas in Pajamas survive an onslaught from Heroic in normal time and win it in overtime. I can't believe they've made it to the 3rd map.
What a performance from them, and right on through. Threat, their coach, who's probably just sitting on the other side. Well, we know from the behind-the-scenes footage, just standing on the other side, listening to the comms, shaking his head and wincing. What a wild ride for Threat. But the team managed to force a 3rd map against Heroic. We're going the distance. We're going to Mirage, and we're going to get to see what Device is capable of on the map with an AWP.
Indeed we are. It is break time. When we're back, thoughts and feelings from the analysts and Monty at the desk.
Round and round we went here on Overpass. Heroic with the lead in regulation, but NIP crawls back into it and ends up in double OT taking this. This one was an absolutely spectacular map overall. And I think NIP showing that they can hang with some of the world's best.
Oh my God. I mean, there was definitely some flashes and moments where from Heroic, this just seemed like they were going to run away with it. And even some rounds from NIP where down to the wire, you really started to doubt their ability to stay and hang with Heroic. They had a pretty solid first half, but going into, the later stages of the game, things got really, really intense, Maui.
Yeah, this was so back and forth. Well, it was a nice comeback from NIP to even bring it to this point, but some of the setups, the strategies from Heroic were so thorough that it was really impressive to see how NIP was able to fight back in these situations. The fact that they were able to bring it to OT to begin with was such a huge shocker to us, and got to give them credit because they came up big when it mattered most in OT. So many individuals having multi-frag positions, performances where you wouldn't think there's a chance for them necessarily, but they make it happen.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, there was even like huge clutch attempts. We had Rez almost with a 1v5, Cadium almost with a 1v4, and that's just when you have your stars really stepping up in that big way. Yeah, it doesn't always pan out, but at least us at home, us viewers, I mean, at least it's enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, Device 2, top bragging on the map for the team. I think he almost had 40 or just had 40 by the time the map had ended. So really strong individual performance from him. And man, he had some very good clutches on some of those rounds to actually push them into OT in the first place.
Maui in the green room screaming, "That's why they pay you," as he's picking up the 3K to push it to OT. I mean, yeah, he had his moments for sure.
All right, let's start with this map because it really was a lot about Heroic and Refresh on the CT side to start things off. So we can take a look at some of those highlights. Now, he fell off later in the map. So first off, what was he doing well lurking on CT? And then what was identified later on by NIP?
Well, the thing with Refresh on this map is that he was just it's just that we can pick pretty much any player from Heroic in any given game, and there's always some possibility that he's going to pop off. And this time around, Refresh, as one of the B site anchors along with Shush, just did an excellent job in not only holding his bomb site down, but consistently putting pressure on the water position. Saw already one highlight where he was on the flank there, but consistently it was him and Shush locking down that monster tunnel, and that was a huge focus for NIP in terms of their offensive.
Yeah, it's actually crazy that I mean, a lot of times you can spell the hyperbole out and be like, oh, all 5 players from Heroic are totally going to deliver, and they usually do, but there were highlight reel moments from all of them, and the fact that they still did not win the map, I mean, that's incredible to me.
Obviously, there were a ton of rounds in this game with the ones, how long it went, going the distance into double OT. But what we want to take a look at is kind of the moment in regulation where it really tipped back in NIP's favor, and that was round 27, where Heroic on the brink here, and this allows NIP right back into the map.
Yeah, and I think Heroic had maybe just come off the back of like an eco round win, saving the AWP for Acadian, and this is just like, okay, we're going to full all-out execute B, and NIP just doing such a good job with the counter smokes and the counter utility. Look at how long it takes Heroic to get any ground over here at B.
Yeah, this is a great attempt from Heroic at the end of the day, where Cadian almost actually wins a massive clutch. But you could see in these moments that where NIP didn't have actually that much utility, Heroic kind of went all in on some of their approaches here, where it was just all out on short. Stown makes a good attempt. He makes kind of a risky play, but actually is able to go 1-for-1 and in that case, that gives a little bit more positioning for his teammates. But I think what this round comes down to is that Cadian gave his team a chance in that he actually really hurt the economy at the end of the round for NIP here.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the scoreboard before we actually end this clip, dude. Device at 27 and 18, and the rest of NIP is having a pretty average day. By the end of this series, or by the end of this map, once OT was finished, I mean, the later stages of this second half, especially to push it to OT, it was really a group effort across the board from NIP. And you just saw the resilience there coming through, and I mean, it's able to take a map off Heroic, man. That is not what I was expecting.
And you really got to think that if this AK kill goes through, this is going to be a map win for Heroic. Like that moment at the end where Cadian almost completes that multi-man clutch could have swung the game right into Heroic's favor, but NIP just barely scraped by, and that's the round that gets them the momentum to head into OT.
Yeah, the money was depleted for NIP if they lost that round,
Yeah.
actually. Almost every player was at 0 at the beginning of that clip.
You could see it on their faces as the player cams came up after they won the 1v1, just like, that was really close.
Got away with that one, guys.
ZTR
was
saves us
shocked.
again.
Yeah.
He did it again. And this is what you're talking about with ZTR, too. It's like, maybe he hasn't had the best score lines, but the eye test in these very, very important moments, that's where he stepped up big time.
Yeah, whether or not he's the guy that should have been closing that round earlier or he's the guy who actually gets it done, I mean, we could debate about that, but the fact is he's finding himself in those situations, and it's so easy to crumble in those moments, and he stood up to the test.
Yeah.
So, Lex, what do the kids do? What are the
I'm not doing it, Maui. Not on air.
You can't leave
I'll
me
do it
hanging.
over there for you in the dark corner when nobody else is looking, but I'm not going to do it here live.
We'll save it for later. Save it for later.
This is what they do behind the camera, guys. All right, let's take one look at an overtime round because this is why you pay Device, right,
Yes.
Maui, round 35?
Yeah, Device, I mean, he put up a lot of frags this game, but this was a round where he came up big, finds the opening pick against Stown. I mean, that is always going to make the job a lot easier for his team, and that just opens everything up for NIP. Heroic are a team that always want to be proactive, and because of that, they actually spell their own doom in this round. It's one of the few times that they get caught just kind of walking into short, but Hampus, with his own little proactive play set up by Rez's flash, and he's able to capitulate the early losses from Heroic and convert it into an NIP victory.
Impressive stuff. I mean, just so much ground already being taken by NIP at this point. You already know the round's over. And this is really where it started to get kind of dawned on me that, wow, NIP is going to take Overpass because, I mean, their T-sides really came alive. And it wasn't as though their originally first half, whatever it was, T-side was a bad showing out of them. But there was definitely moments from Cadian and company that really was just like, okay, this is why, you know, Heroic's a cut above. This is a team in a higher class to me. And then, you know, come OT, it was a different story entirely.
Well, we are going to head into a third map on Mirage. Now, last time we saw NIP play, they made the choice of Train over Mirage. This time they make the choice of Mirage over Train. So we're going to bring in Alan, who's on the line to discuss Mirage and whether he thinks this is a good pick. Alan, do you think this is a good pick over Train?
Perhaps. I think we'll see how it plays out, Monty.
Wow,
I think
that's the
Mirage
most
is a
wishy-washy answer.
Ask him after the match is over.
I think Mirage is a map that for both teams is relatively near the middle of their pool. I think in general it should suit Heroic quite a lot more because Heroic is a team, they're probably Counter-Strike's most proactive team on the CT side, and Mirage is almost endless options for proactive options. So I think you'll see a lot of those in this game. Over on the T side, I think NIP, they love going for the super aggressive mid defaults. They love throwing, the fast window smokes, getting out mid fast. So I think both teams have reasons to like it, but neither team's really willing to pick into Mirage in that many series. So it's relatively near the middle of the pool for both. That's why it's the decider map. But I'd probably just edge it to Heroic, but we'll see how it plays out.
Do you think it could be as close as we just saw in Overpass? Because that's what we're all thinking over here is just like if this goes in Mirage, could be down to the wire.
Potentially, I mean,
the last time we saw NIP on Mirage, I mean, they've been winning this map like 16-14. It hasn't been impressive. I know he's refusing to give us a prediction.
I'll take Heroic. I think Heroic are the better team. I think NIP's at a different point in their trajectory as a team. I think for them in general, you got to be looking in 2 or 3 months really to round out the squad with Device to get Hampus really up to speed of calling, especially when Fret can't talk as much in the rounds, etc. So I'll edge it to Heroic. I think, as I said, I think the map suits them quite a lot. T side as well. It's a map where they can run their 4-1s, they can run their explosive plays, and they have so many options. So I'll edge it to Heroic, but as Lex said, a close game could be on the cards here.
What do you expect out of Device? Especially given the fact that he didn't play this map for 2 years competitively.
Well, it's a good question. Before, Astralis did have a period where they played a fair amount of Mirage, and especially if you go back to the TSM days, players played it quite a lot. And in general, I don't think AWPing at the top level of Mirage has changed a terrible amount in the last few years. So I don't expect him to have enormous teething problems. It'd be more so in the minutiae of the communication or the late round scenarios. So I think it'll be fine, but I'd probably edge it to Cadian going into this matchup on Mirage for sure.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, Alan, for joining us. Appreciate your take on this. We'll be looking forward to more of your telestration and round breakdowns in the coming days. He thinks Heroic's going to win, NIP ending 4th place here at Flashpoint 3. Goodbye.
Bye, Alan.
Bye. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at our updated odds from Unicorn. Obviously, this match very close. I'm curious to see who they have as the favorite heading into.
Gotta be Heroic.
It's got to be Heroic. By a surprisingly large margin. I did not expect to see that.
I mean,
Nobody believes in Nip Magic anymore, I guess.
I'll say that Heroic has now beaten, I mean, they've taken some major scalps on this map. They've beaten Complexity twice. It's Complexity's home map. They've beaten Gambit. That's a huge win for them. They've beaten Big. Big's home map also was Mirage at 1.2. So I think that Alan's right that I think Heroic should be the favorites. I think the odds are right, too.
All right. Well, before we get into that, guys, be sure, head over to flashpointnft.gg. We have lovely NFTs and collectible cards shipping worldwide for you. And then we'll be getting into our final map of Mirage right after this. We here at Flashpoint are excited to partner with Rally.io. Now you will have a chance to own a piece of history as we start the major cycle for 2021. You can head over to flashpointnft.gg, where you can buy a package that will combine a unique NFT with a holographic card of some of the players and artwork that we featured in the Flashpoint tournament. These pre-purchases are done on the Rally.io network through Flashpoint. Simply hit the link and you'll be guided through the purchase process for the combination NFT and collectible holographic card of your choice. Here's a sample of what our NFTs look like. Sexy parallaxing on the player, featured as a high-res MP4 and dark, ominous soundscape, so you can lose yourself in pixelized CSGO player glory. But this isn't just about the NFT. You'll also be receiving a collectible card of that NFT mailed to you. Every card printed is done with high-quality shattered ice holographic foil, encased in thick plastic and secured with magnetic lock, then sealed with a tamper-evident player name sticker to ensure your collectible hasn't been touched by human hands. Each NFT and holo card pre-sale is only $100 in Flashpoint, and that includes global shipping to wherever you live on the planet. Don't forget to put your full name and shipping address into your note field when you buy. Since we're going to be minting and printing all of these NFTs and cards at once, remember that you won't receive your card or NFT for 4 to 6 weeks until after Flashpoint 3 ends. By purchasing these collectible combos, you will be supporting Flashpoint, but you're also going to be supporting your favorite teams and players who have partnered with us. They will be receiving 50% of the revenues of all NFTs sold. Thanks for your support. We're really looking forward to offering you a unique collectible where you get a physical card in addition to your NFT to remember your favorite teams, players, and Flashpoint 3 artwork. Thank you very much.
What is up, homies? It is time for the third and final map, this deciding map of this series, Heroic versus NIP. The ninth round has begun. I can't believe we've got this far, even though I picked NIP to win.
You did pick NIP to win, you mad lad.
I did, and they might. Oh, man. I'm not even going to gloat if they do win.
You got both predictions right for the day? That would just be insane.
That would be a normal day in the office, for me.
Yeah, you see, the thing is that next time I'll just pick the opposite of what makes sense. And then...
and then just be consistent almost every day.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Bardolph. Just like Bardolph.
Salt! Too much sodium in your diet, Semler.
No such thing, Bardolph. No such thing. Don't let them lie to you. Hi. As far as NIP is concerned, this is a terrific turn of events for them. They are a pretty solid Mirage team. Device seems to be incorporating well into the system for the Swedes as well. So, I mean, this is going to be riding a lot on whether or not Heroic can just bash them up or not. Can Heroic just smash through these ninjas? Because the ninjas now are going to be all fired up and raring to go after they manage to actually get that double overtime win over Heroic. But again, such a close map means that by no means is this a clear-cut situation here. I think that Heroic are going to be looking pretty darn good, and they get to start on the T side as well. So on Mirage, means that they get to set the pace, they get to set the terms, and down out on the lurk already. Heavy presence mid from Heroic right out the gates.
It's a fair amount spotted by Hampus. ZTR and Rez will drop the bomb in connector. Got some nice jumps off the bench. And Cadian now is in a 1 versus 4. And when that bench was installed, let's say, I thought it would be a lot worse than it actually is. It's been a pretty cool addition. I feel like many benches in London, especially in parks with like a nice view, like in Richmond Hill and so on, they all have dedications on them, like a little plaque or a carving into them in memory of someone. XYZ loved this place or something. Maybe we'll end up with a, maybe there should be some words there on the garage for something. Maybe not for someone's, you know, in someone's memory, but that could be a nice addition to the game. Well, Ninjas in Pajamas start off on the right foot, and it's Desert Eagle time because Heroic have gone for the force buy. You know what this means, Semler. Variants.
Yes, exactly. It's just going to get hectic. You can see already ZTR with the jiggle. Going to get punished by Shush. And it's not quite going to be able to hit that headshot. Footsteps are getting heard, though. 1-for-1 trade so far. That was Tessus taking down Hampus, and now it is out of control as Refresh rolls over Plopsky. Man advantage now for Heroic going into the post plant. And Refresh, he is going to be able to get this bomb planted fairly quickly here.
Here we go
Shush, here's the flank. Shush, here's Device. This is big.
Oh, the crouch pick from Device, though. Takes nothing for granted. There isn't high ground yet. Cadian, he goes straight into the angle. It's 1-for-1. Oh, Cadian with a nice angle there, and Device is dead. 2 versus 3 retake. And they are thinking better of this, not wanting to throw good money after bad. So many forced by Deagle round wins in this tournament. This one tournament alone. Peta, I know you're watching. Show me the stats. They've got to be off the charts, off the chain. Deagle kills in a second round alone have got to be quite ridiculous at the moment. It is out of control.
What am I looking at here?
The players are getting better, which means the weapons become stronger. $800. Make it so.
Dude, no way. Hold on. The percentage of round 2 wins after losing the pistol round, 65% for Heroic. So more than half the time they're winning. So the pistol is just like, we lost the pistol, it's fine. That is nuts across 13 maps. They do not win pistol rounds, Heroic. They win 34% of their pistol rounds. But then they go on to win 64% of the second rounds after losing the pistol. That is bonkers.
Yeah, and if you convert this round from the T side, as I always say, it is worse for the CT side because their economy starts at the very bottom. It's in the bin, just like Rez is for this round. He has been disposed of by the likes of Heroic, and they look for more, but the Desert Eagle is creeping. Plopsky putting a smoke ahead of the bomb, trying to do what he can now, running low on bullets, and Shush will deliver that big headshot. He's bought some time for the rotation, however. Device taking a lot of damage from that grenade, and now they may want to consider their options, but how likely are they to lose Hampus in mid? Spots Cadian, needs one more shot, eventually gets there. Quick reload in the smoke, Tessus around the corner, has an angle at least. 3 on 3, 50 seconds for the bomb to be planted. Down goes down, and NIP are fighting back in this one. How does Shush plant the bomb now? Where is his cover? Only Tessus in jungle that's all he has to play with, but he's got to watch jungle and connector. Device could go for some wall bangs. A little too far to the right, a little too far to the left. It's a big shot from Tessus. Oh my god, speaking of big shots now, they know where Tessus is. ZTR has a kit. He could full commit, I imagine he will. He can't expect a full commitment here. He can't expect a defuse kit. That's got to catch him completely off guard. Surprise. You can finish off the rest.
Sure, yeah, you guys you've all heard that 1,000 times. That is such a crucial round for NIP to come back into here. And another force buy going their way. The Deagles and Plopsky just being a hero throws a huge wrench in things as they try to push out onto the A side from ramp. It's just not meant to be for Heroic. And yet Heroic, because they get the bomb plant, they actually have a full buy. Both of these teams now pretty fully equipped, although NIP much better off with the grenades. Makes you wonder what Heroic have got in store for us here. With 2 players in mid, 3 towards A. ZTR and Rez, though, they're going to get cheeky. Cadian, I'm pretty sure he spotted a toe.
He's a footman. Send him pictures on
Yes,
Twitter.
he is. Refresh going to come over here to help him out. They're going to drop on this guy. The thing is this a setup or not? Yeah, this is a setup, and it is going to work. Wonderful work from Rez.
Looking for the third. That bomb needs to be rescued, but the bomb site needs to be taken as well.
So cool from Shush.
One of the players in Connector can rescue the bomb, as Shush understands the priority is to take the map control. Play around the smoke as well. He's got to get the advantage here. Spots the shadow of HyperX, who's still fighting for something. Now with 6 HP, what does he choose to do? Bomb's not planted just yet. Can't give up on a round. He's going for a big rotation, but he has been heard. TeSeS knows at best. At worst, rather, they are 2 versus 1 on the bomb site, and the smoke is up to thwart Hampus immediately. Repositioning now, and this is surely going to be an easy one for TeSeS. Looking for the head, he's hunting. Good damage done by Hampus, though, and Plopsky can maybe capitalize on this. If he can find down, he can. 28 HP now behind the smoke is TeSeS. A kit collected by Plopsky. Did he see where it came from? Looking in Connector. He needs to find a headshot, basically, despite the damage done to TeSeS. He's swinging now. The jump peek is beautiful, and the round is over.
Big boom and 1 health. Dude, get out of here. He survives on 1 health. All right, Plopsky, there's your trophy. You get to take that AK with you into the next round. So, neither team willing to give up. This is going back and forth, literally. Just trading rounds. And now we're all going to get to watch and see who actually cracks first in this duel. 2-2, and it's going to be the full-on force on both sides yet again. Neither team willing to back down. Heroic, again, favored with the rifles, though. This is going to be very difficult for NIP, but then again, Deagles.
Yeah, this whole series is going to be very difficult for NIP. That much is clear. I mean, kind of lost for words that they made it this far, considering the sheer brutality that Heroic dish out on a regular basis. Plopsky not going too far with this AK-47. You do not want that being dropped in no man's land. Now, there's a lot of utility here for Ninjas in Pajamas. If they can use these smokes to try and thwart the advances of Heroic, then that could be quite something. We see the connector smoke from Short. Your Short player has to help with the window and connector area as well. A molly in response from NIP. 1 minute mark, there are still 4 smoke grenades for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Plopsky has to stay alive here. Can't afford to lose anybody early. Little smoke to create some space for himself, avoiding the Molotov as well. He's got to pick the right time to fall back because 27 and 1, he's got 20 HP.
At least he's in a position right now to get that info as well. He hears those footsteps under him. He's actually going to keep the defense locked on this B bomb site. Hampus and Device. Plopsky even baiting a res rotate. But they're going to go up connector. Heroic, they are not going underpass to B. This is going to be an A hit. ZTR about to find that out.
Oh, nice headshot from him. He's created some space for himself, but I don't know how much play he has around this. Surely he can't creep through this smoke. Surely not. Just fishing now. 2 players around the CT position. ZTR had a smoke, and I wondered, you can smoke top connector from near triple, basically. Now, if that smoke had come in, I guess they would have forced their way through it anyway. Nobody was really there to do anything about it, but that would have been interesting.
I wonder what Cadian's neighbors think. Dude, he's just always getting hype, shouting at the top of his lungs. It must be a nightmare to be his neighbor. Especially those late night matches. I mean, this is going late.
Yeah.
And he's just shouting his head off.
We're just screaming and swearing like, oh, they're having another domestic next door.
Not a good time at all. Shush topping the scoreboard with 5 kills, though, making the difference. And well, now this is once again setting up here towards the A site. The only issue is that this is a hard eagle coming in from NIP. Heroic are the first team to be able to chain 2 rounds together. And so NIP have gone ahead and stacked A fully.
Uh-oh. Well, here comes the swing. Not much for Ninjas in Pajamas to offer. On the plus side for them, there's only 1 kill with the SMG there, so minimal, close to minimal money made in terms of the fashion in which they are executed. But A nice turnaround for Heroic. So strong in these second rounds, as Semler pointed out. Losing the pistol, winning the force buy, and off to the races they go. Three rounds in a row now for Heroic as Ninjas in Pajamas head towards their first buy round with a FAMAS for ZTR, an M4A4 for Device.
It's where I kind of wonder if it's worthwhile to go for this buy or not. I mean, you don't have an AWP. Could have options to go for double op if you wanted to. Just another round of eco or like half buy with Deagles.
Awkward fights there. Headshot position for Cadian and a MAC-10. Down, charging up the short area. Fast moving round as far as Heroic are concerned in mid. They will soon have control of the ladder room, it looks like. You can see Hampus below the smoke, and we'll see if Tessus finds himself an angle. He is in ladder though, so we'll see if Hampus can survive. The bomb currently T-spawned towards the A bomb site, and you can see Heroic just posted up looking for Ninjas in Pajamas to make a play, giving them again, rope to hang themselves with. And NIP, I mean, Nuke was so long ago, but if you go back to the CT side, NIP were forced to respond to what Heroic were doing. Didn't really have the space to make a play. And right now the situation is currently the same. As Heroic are setting the pace for the half. Well, at least trying to in this round, we could say.
I think you really need to just try and smash Nip's will early here. Let them forget about the success on Overpass. I feel like that was a different lifetime ago. And well, Tessus now going to take out Rez. Opening kill to kick things off. Hampus is still trying to cheat his way over towards that A site, and nice smoke instantly down with 20 seconds left. Heroic are running out of time. They have to go. They're running out of it. ZTR and Device. Hampus still alive on this A site. The bomb is stuck at ramp. They have to get across right now.
Oh man, 10 seconds now, and Device is still here in the smoke. Down is dropped. You can see Plopsky almost has a crossfire as well. Bombs on the floor once more. And this might just work out for them. In such difficult positions, Ninjas in Pajamas. Connector was left completely exploited by Heroic. I thought they were doomed. I thought they were all going to get fisted, but apparently not. Device clenches enough to hold out the round.
Running down the clock. This is actually a bit of what we saw from Heroic on Overpass as well, though. Really cutting it fine in terms of time, in terms of how much room they had left in the round to work with. If something goes wrong, that's what can happen. You can just get bogged down with 15 seconds left and not even be able to get the bomb across to the bomb site just because somebody's somewhere they're not supposed to be. I.e. Device is playing Shadow, where you expect ZTR to be playing. And so that's definitely a throwing it out of whack. Rez, though, going to take down Stout to kick things off.
Oh my god, that is an angle, that first kill. Heroic taking some damage now. We're in for a long, brutal game, people. Again, Heroic with possession of mid. And Smoke's top connector, there's two of them at present. ZTR creeping on the ramp, I can see on the radar. Up close with the UMP, and Shush is just waiting, just lying in wait. This time the bomb's towards the B bomb site. So we'll see what the ultimate plan is here. Waiting at the utility. Everything goes quiet. Peeks towards Palace. If someone's standing at default and you're standing on the box-in connector, you can see their heads as well, by the way. Really strong for the retake. Cadian announces his position. There's no peek. And he quietly moves away with the bomb. Now, the bomb hasn't been spotted in that engagement because there was no peek. Device creeping back in. 30 seconds now. It's going to be another late one from Heroic. Cadian starting to make his way towards connector. Maybe feeling some comfort in this map control. I can see some Palace presence as well. Not expecting that angle from Device. Good enough for two. There's Shush from the Palace. 4 versus 2 now for Heroic. They've got no cover to plant the bomb. It's impossible. Trying to save now, and that won't be allowed either. NIP taking this round by the reins.
And again, just running down the time, running down the clock. NIP are playing so passively. They're not really giving any free kills over to Heroic. Heroic are spread across the map hoping for duels, and they're just not getting them. Rez again with a terrific round. This was the angle at the start, just catching him right through the top of that smoke. And then Device ready to hold the line in his own right. But as the round progresses, Heroic are struggling to come up with kills because NIP are playing so conservatively and so well from the bomb sites. So now we're going to have to start seeing perhaps the way to counter this would be to get some some set pieces in where you just decide we're going to hit this at this time and we're going to go, take that out of the equation and just count on your execute. But teams are so good with dealing with executes now. It's a very hard thing to do. Regardless, NIP are going to be feeling fantastic. They are managing to fight their way back in. That's 2 rounds in a row now picked up for them.
See if Rez knows his angles. Oh, was he just spotted it? I don't think he was. Oh, that's very fortunate for him. See the light through the smoke? See that light? CTs will hold that angle where they see the light. So if there's a boost while there's a smoke up, then the T goes between the light and the CT so he can see that somebody's in the window. So if you ever see a CT just staring at that smoke, that would be why. The light's broken, they start spraying. Or flush them out later on. False sense of security and all that. That is a deep smoke grenade. Perfect. Gives Plopsky some time. It's going to be very hard to make your way through this. Hampus here for support as well. And they'll have the audio cue of Hampus hopping up. But they will be moving into a crossfire here. Shush just looking around the back. He'll be offering the flashbangs into the site for his team. Well, Plopsky's been deleted. But will they expect a Hampus? He has no help. Rez is on the way. My God, Refresh. He's just too fast. Man advantage suddenly for Heroic. So that one would go way worse, but they're so ready for the peaks. They're just both standing there waiting. They know it's coming.
Ready is the name of the game there, and Hampus, I think, getting caught checking his mini-map, just trying to see where the rest of his teammates are at on the map. It's a little bit of indecisiveness there, and he gets caught looking the wrong way. That's more than enough of a window for Refresh to come in and take his head off. Also, in the fine print, when you download CSGO, they will always peak when you look at the minimap. That's just the way a game plays.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask Cadian. Like I'm curious, I want to know how much he looks at the minimap while sniping.
Sniping IGLs are a different breed.
I guess the better the communication is, the less he has to look at it.
Better the communication, but also, I mean, if you just, the more time you spend playing with your teammates, I guess the more you're going to run through these rounds and know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a window of opportunity there for Heroic, and they did not miss the opportunity to kick it open. And now this is going to be a tactical timeout, getting called by Heroic, not by NIP. NIP are fixing to tap their bank utterly if they go for a buy here. And so this is a difficult situation. So far, NIP have done well, but it's been off of the back of good opening kills from the likes of Rez to put pressure on Heroic, and then just holding very passively and not giving Heroic a chance to trade kills. Find a way back in that way. No unforced errors from NIP right now. And so Heroic need to figure out exactly what it is that they want to run here in this situation. I think this is actually having a bit of an impact on Cadian right now. This having to focus so much on the game. He's focusing a little bit less on his crosshair. Only 3 kills for him right now. So we'll see.
Device forced off the angle. Very good flashbang. It's a deep one from NIP as well. It's a very strong Molotov. We'll talk about later. There is a trade, and Device will continue that fashion. Trying to force him, but he's holding his position now down to 36 HP, and he's able to fall back. I'll see if he posts up. He can crouch by the... oh, never mind, he can't. There's mollies on the way. If he crouches by that box, then they can't see him from Palace. Cadian can smoke CT, jungle, or connector from this position. This looks like the connector one, I want to say. Has he been spotted? Well, he certainly has been now. But down is a peak. Device misses the flick. That was quite the long one. Need hyperglides for a sweep that long. And Ninjas in Pajamas know where the smoke came from, so they creep through it. Rez with an angle, not showing to Palace just yet. This is so awkward for both squads. 48 seconds, and there are no more grenades left beyond that one. Rez delivering the first one. Rez again, running low on bullets, but a trade fragger is here in Hampus. And 2 will survive for Ninjas in Pajamas.
It was just these they are so patient on NIP's side with not giving up the advantage. It really is tit for tat right now between these two teams. They're so evenly matched, but this is Device making the difference again, finding value with that AWP. And Rez, dude. Rez, this is the map where Rez really starts to feel comfortable. He's starting to take over. Him and Device vying for the top spot. 9 kills for Device, 8 for Rez. And he just keeps getting those high-value kills. Let's see, does he have another chance here? A little bit of a weird boost, but it's Device who wins the duel.
Oh, Cadian's a little off. Like a sandwich in a petrol station at the moment. Not advisable.
ZTR again holding close with that jiggle. Man, disadvantage now for Heroic, though. Cadian not going to be feeling pleased about this. Device is starting to really take off right now with 10 kills. Cadian's still sitting at 4.
If anybody wants to learn a nice incendiary for T-Ramp from a CT side at the beginning of the round, then this is a good demo to watch. I think it was ZTR who's running towards triple and aiming at a red building above T-Ramp. Just before he collides with triple, let's go with the molly, and it goes really deep. Then you can bounce an aggressive flashbang behind it and swing, and the T's are forced to run away or die, basically, or eat it. But anyway, here comes the push into B, attempted at least, a 3-man push. No one's touched Terra Firma just yet. There's an opening kill now as Hampus dances, but he's being baited. Oh, Storm's missed a flick as well. These AWPs are almost offline. It's like they're in low power mode, but maybe there's still a chance. 28 seconds. Rotation from A towards the B bomb site. Down, still wondering about his 6. 20 seconds of brutal off angle. Refreshes air strafing to see that was insane, but he can't get the kill. Rez is good enough for it. Stan misses the flashbang. 12 seconds to find 2 kills. The bomb's in apartments. He needs both. Oh, Rez will put him out of his misery. That's a really tough position to deal with, where Rez was in the corner, but Refresh's air strafe to see if somebody was there was nuts. So props for that. Didn't get the kill, but the fact he got the information like that was amazing.
Device casually asking Cadian if he was boosted top mid. Cadian saying yes, nice shot.
No, I was cheating.
Yeah, exactly.
No clip.
He was hovering. But Device, he's saying a little bit of sportsmanship between the two. This is a duel, after all, between them. And we are going to get the straight rush. No time wasted at all here from Heroic. Straight out into the open on the A site. Cadian and Tessus still alive, but the bomb is committed.
Yeah, there's that aggressive molly again. Now, with a good spawn, 1 or 2 players can get ahead of it, so you have to be aware of that and bear that in mind with how you run. But it does separate the players here and makes things a little bit easier for Ninjas in Pajamas. Just fishing now, we can see. Oh, Device. Wonder about the comms there. Connector being held. A little elbow. And there's 2 more for Device to add to his tally. 13 for 7 now. Building up a good score on the CT side. We have 5 rounds from the last 6 for Ninjas in Pajamas. Have you ever worn pajamas, Sembla? I feel like you're just too big for pajamas.
Yeah, no, not for me.
Not a pajamas man, see? I know you very well.
Are you a pajamas man?
No.
See, there you go. I didn't think so either. Who wears pajamas in 2021?
Smaller people.
Passe thing, yeah, exactly.
Normal sized people.
I mean, 7-5. NIP really setting themselves up for success here. The pressure is starting to mount, not on the Ninjas, but on Heroic, as NIP have been able to bear up under the weight. 5 rounds on this CT side out of the last 6 go the way of the Ninjas. And it's really just, you know, we're starting to see the impact that Device is having on this map. Maui Snake pointed it out going into this match that, or into this tournament rather, that Device, he hadn't played this map in an official in the past 2 years.
Holy potatoes. Well, you saw the molly and the flash I was talking about, but you have us down on the other side. Somehow gets the kill there. 2 entries on the A bomb site. This round is probably over. But again, the same execute every round, get used to it and find a way around it. Stown certainly did on this occasion. And that is finally a round for Heroic after a drought. I don't think they made the pop flash swing every round, but I don't know how he got the kill there, to be honest. Maybe before it went off. He may just tank to the flashbang.
Are we just going to get more of the same here from Heroic, these explosive, quick rounds? Is that going to be the name of the game for them? So, I mean, they've had success with this in the past. The slow rounds, they're just getting picked a whole lot. And so you really wonder if it's better to just kind of get out there quick, throw a couple of set nades, and just go. Get the fight going against NIP. Well, all 5 survived now for Heroic, so that's going to be fantastic as far as their money is concerned. Going into the last 2 rounds of this half, they need it. Ah, they're all just asking each other questions. What is this? But now they're writing in Danish. I don't understand. Okay. Stalin was asking Device a question. No idea.
When are you going to eat a dime bot? Probably the question.
He was saying, are there good Kalesniga in Stockholm?
Cadian ready on this occasion. Landing shots again. Sort of support flashbang towards mid from the triple position. But it is the A ramp where the action is. Oh, God. What? Okay. Didn't last for too long. That was wild. And all the entries being found now by Heroic. NIP on the back foot late on in the first half. Things starting to tighten up, and as Cadian is heading towards the CT site, he's warming up, and that's not a good sign for NIP.
Oh, this is starting to get completely outrageous. ZTR is going to find a kill in mid at least. But that was crazy. Both of them super blind, standing shoulder to shoulder. And now they're just trying to figure out who noticed each other, who noticed who first. Yeah, Hampus was so blind, he had no idea. Stavin realized only when he got stuck. He was like, what am I stuck on? And he looked over and it was Hampus.
Stuck on a Hampus.
There's quite a bit of conversation going between the two teams. It makes me wonder, you know, it's like, should there be a rule against this kind of conversation, or should there, or shouldn't there? Should the players be able to talk like this?
Why not?
You know, that's, I mean, you know, I don't know.
This is gaming. I miss the times in matchmaking where at halftime you could talk all kinds of smack. You suck, you crap at the game. Why have you got 2 kills? All that kind of stuff. Those were good times, man.
Yep. And
those were good times.
Fifis.
It's supposed to be an escape, damn it.
Fifis.
Let me share my emotions with anonymous people on the internet with stupid names.
100%. And, you know, just own them. That's what it's all about. Tied up 7-7 now, though.
Oh, no pop flash.
No pop flash, no early anything over towards A for Heroic. A lot of presence towards B apartments again, and it's looking like Heroic are going to call Nip out, thinking that Nip aren't going to focus on B that aggressively 2 rounds in a row, and they would be right. Stone, however, he's thinking about it. Very interesting, as Hampus has now had enough time to rotate back over here towards B. Interesting to see the change of pace here from Heroic. But they're playing off of this refresh. Did he get spotted? I see no reaction from the A ninjas, although Device is starting to rotate over towards CT jungle.
That scope must have been heard. There is a super strong pop flash from the window position where you can have a peek. Well, they're trying to sell something, and that smoke will be a problem, but they have brought a 3rd player towards this B bomb site. There is no lurker towards A from Heroic. They quietly shift walk away. Now with Plopsky, I don't know if he's still on, if he's hopped up on something just yet. But they could pop flash him in for some info and rotate elsewhere, because they don't have the information.
I think we're running into a similar situation here, Bardolph, where time is going to
flashes.
really hurt.
Yeah, well, they've got Rez in the Palace. That is something. They don't seek the information towards B. The smokes never dissipate. And Heroic now 5 versus 4 with control of jungle connector. The only thing they don't have is CT and Palace. But they will wonder about Palace. We can see refreshes in the sandwich position. So this retake's not going to be easy. But there goes Refresh, and there goes the eyes towards Palace. And that is really a big opening now if Rez can get active with his M4A4 creeping out. He's got to find this kill. Looking towards jungle as well. Of course it's Rez with 2. And suddenly the tables turn. Rez and Hampus, the 2 men with the kit, down 1 versus 4. Looking to clutch now. Where are the meat shields? There's the first one. Rez with another frag. And Ninjas in pajamas with a 1-round lead at halftime. That is quite the half from Ninjas in Pajamas. It is very, very close indeed. I think a lot of people can't even believe we've made it to a third map. But here we are, one round between the squads. Who takes it? Find out after the break. This is what the teams are playing for. To be arrested at airport security. Basically, the AK-47 trophy here at Flashpoint 3. It has glorious colors and it's very weighty as well. Even the stand is very, very nice. It's one of the most awesome trophies we have in the game, I think.
Indeed. Each time it gets a different paint job as well. So there'll always be the AK. Just what's it going to look like for which season?
Yeah, that one's a really nice one. It's pretty cool. There'll be a nice skin in the game, to be honest. But it is a real trophy. You can pick it up and swing it should you want to. And NIPs, it's their turn to swing the AKs in the game, but first comes the pistols. They lead by just the one round. And Heroic will be very proactive on this pistol run, both jumping out the window, the likes of Cadian and Astown, heading towards the underpass. But Rez, does he check the underpass here? He could crouch past this angle to avoid toll booth. Nope, going to take it for granted, and that allows Heroic to take liberties. ZTR with a kill. Not sure if the bomb's on the radar for that one. This could be a free one for Hampus. Indeed it will be. Now we've got problems on this B bomb site. Frags required. There's one from Refresh. And NIP will fall back, not committing just yet. 3 versus 3.
I forget that Refresh uses a P2000. What is this ungodly gun? That noise.
That combo.
Salting my ears.
Green, bright green gloves. And a grey, disgusting P2000. That looks like it has some kind of STI. It's a disappointing combination. I'm aesthetically disgusted.
Well, shush. He's going to be disgusted when he gets faced by 3 players here in Connector in a second. Oh, they're going to go for the boost up into window, though. Okay. So no audio cue, nothing to warn Refresh that there's currently a flank happening towards A.
Wonder if the crawl space has been broken or not by the CTs. Oh, hold on. Tessus has seen something. That's going to be the bomb on the radar now. But where can they plant? 24 seconds, and you see that there's one player just waiting. Oh, man. Is there any cover for this device? There's a little bit. The bomb has been planted. Instant trade, and maybe CT can be taken should they desire. Device is on the way, in fact, heading towards Bench. He's completely changed his position. Last spotted towards the ramp, now hiding at triple. Plopsky on the flank with the sound cues as well. We'll see if he can get close enough in time. Insta-deleted his device. Now, Plopsky, does he walk? Does he walk all the way? Refresh has a kit, but they don't know where he is. Tessa's checking the backside. This is an important situation. Oh my God, he's done both of them. And NIP have taken the pistol. I wasn't expecting that. Came off the bong to swing 2 versus 1, but still, Plopsky clutches another round for Ninjas in Pajamas. Give that man his own trophy.
How many clutch rounds are we going to get for the Ninjas? They just keep coming through. That's been the story of this series. Insane clutches. And yet here we go. Plopsky, that's just another pistol, but now they have to survive the grinder. They have to survive Heroic in the second round, post-pistol, in the loss. Can they do it? Charging to top mid, and actually it's looking pretty good. 2 free kills, Refresh and Style, now already out of the fight. And so NIP now actually in a winning position, looking pretty good.
Wow, you're saying they might actually win the second round?
Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good for them, although I'm not going to rule Heroic out just yet.
Now would be the time to do it. The final pistol round to win the conversion afterwards would be the time to do it. That would be the confidence play. That would be a psychological boost versus a very strong, very dangerous Heroic team. We see them creep towards the B bomb site now. Heroic may choose to save. They may choose to head towards Palace and save here, for example. 3 versus 5, outpositioned. You might as well hold on to this for the next round, which essentially means a reset of the current situation. Or close enough. Tessus outstaying his welcome, though. They choose aggression. They choose violence, Heroic. Oh, that's a nice flick from Cadian. And again, it shows promise for the AWP to come. All right, then.
He hits that shot, of course. Of course he hits that shot.
Spicy shots.
Nutso.
That's more of a jalfrezi than a chicken korma.
We are going to get a hard eco, though, coming in here from Heroic. So this round, I think, is going to be pretty straightforward. Interesting to see just all-out aggression from Heroic towards top mid with those 2. Perhaps just expecting the single player from NIP to be at top mid, but wasn't what they ran into. We will get pretty much the full eco coming in. A single flash grenade picked up by Cadian. And Heroic setting the trap on a site, hoping that this is in fact where NIP are going to go. And as it would happen, NIP are in fact going to hit this A site.
Oh, there's only 2 players in there. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. No, not everything's fine. Everything in its right place, like the Radiohead song. Ninjas in Pajamas move to 11 rounds. So no upsets here, no more resets. Some normal, honest Counter-Strike in those rounds of late. And now the big guns come out. Cadian straight for the AWP. You'll see the M4s as well. We are at the business end of this series. And NIP are 4 rounds ahead of Heroic, who come into this a heavy favorite, like sinking straight to the bottom heavy, a brick heavy.
Well, Cadian's got his AWP. The thing is that Cadian's been pretty quiet so far on this map, only 9 kills to his name. And so now would be the time for him to wake up and start having that impact with that sniper rifle. We saw Device pretty much dominate the first half. But it's looking like we're going to get more nades out towards A here for NIP in a moment. Setups. Smokes are going through, and clean stuff coming in here from NIP. ZTR full flash. It turns out his opponent is as well, but he had the bomb.
No.
Oh, Plopsky with the save.
He's got to rescue that quickly. He's falling back, but they have to rescue the bomb before the smokes go. That needs to be collected. Oh, that's an important objective. Tessus taking a risk now. That is a massive gamble. That is a play or save gamble. But still, with no smoke on CT, they have a chance. The bomb is planted now, and things become more urgent for Heroic. We can see them slowly slipping away. Because again, oh, 22 HP though. Cadian's fallen back. Refresh looking for something. They may have been given just enough to lose even more weapons here. I think it's one of those types of conclusions to the round. Cadian falling away to save the AWP. And Shush may be claimed as well. We'll see. Down goes the AWP. And Heroic, they're going to be feeling the pressure immediately. You can see with 3 players alive, the hesitation they had straight away. They lose everything. Shush explodes. No kill bonus for that one. Ninjas in Pajamas, 12-7. Every other round is a bye for Heroic, which means that Ninjas in Pajamas have 2 heroic buy rounds before they win the series. 2 heroic buy rounds before they win the series.
So here's the timeout getting called by Heroic. Pressure is completely on these guys now. And I would say safe to say, favorites for the tournament. And yet here we have them with their backs to the wall. But you're right, 2 buy rounds, that's not a whole lot to play with. But again, look at, I mean, just how lethal these Deagles have been. That's what they're going to go for this round. You can't write the Deagle rounds off completely.
Going back to that smoke push last round, you can see the urgency for Heroic taking a massive chance because all of a sudden their backs are very much to the wall and they do not have that much space to play with. And again, even if they win a round, there is massive economical pressure to win the next one, both in terms of score and the money NIP have in the whole. So this is all this stuff compounds the issues here for Heroic. They are in, all of a sudden, they are in a dire, dire situation. You can see the grenade lining up with the aerial there to smoke top connector. That is the lineup. It's that little corner of the aerial, and away you go. Learn something new every day. I'm teaching the plebs.
It's good smoke. Makes it very frustrating here for Stoughton, because if he can't really push through, he can get flashed, however, and that's Hampus just ready for it. The timing lines up perfectly for Hampus. He already had his crosshair in the right place.
Oh!
There we go. That's what had to happen, though.
This is the kind of action that Heroic needs. The bomb in Palace. There is time for Ninjas in Pajamas. They can try to do something about this. Cadian, now the Molotov is up, can focus on the other side, but Device is in position just in time. Now it's a question of holding onto the bomb site. The smokes will be gone soon, and then Hampus will have some trouble. He's been spotted, double peaks on the way. Device suddenly facing 3 players. Oh my god, it's so awkward. He's isolated Device at least, but he's stuck. And just like that, NIP were in such a strong position. Heroic were not supposed to win this round, but here they are. That changes a lot.
And they saved 3 rifles as well off of that, James. That's insane. This was an eco round from Heroic. They were going to be able to full buy regardless. And yet here we go. 3 saved guns for Heroic. A massive upset win. Puts them on 8 rounds. Still 4 rounds ahead, NIP, so it's definitely not done yet.
But suddenly there's 2 AWPs for Heroic. That changed everything for a time, but Cadian is punctured immediately by Device with a very good spawn. We can see Stow now trying to make a difference. And it's Plopsky's job to lurk.
Tessus will serve as bait.
Yeah, Plopsky's got a better angle though. He's got a better angle all day. He's further away from the corner and has the right eye peak. So again, that's a huge gamble. He puts himself in a position to succeed, and that really cripples Heroic. 3 versus 5.
Oh, hard rotate over towards the A site now for NIP. And this is the gamble from Heroic. Put 3 towards B. If they hit B, you're going to do a good job. Well, it's your best chance to hold with 3. And if they don't, you're going to save these guns going into the next round, which is exactly what Heroic are looking to do now as the bomb makes its way towards A. And so Cadian, I mean, it's hard to say, but Cadian is having a real tough time against Device with this AWP duel. He's gotten shut down several times now in mid. No comments from Device this time, though. But, you know, a little bit of the talk, you know, where Device was asking if he was boosted up that first time in the first half, and Cadian responded. But this was a key kill for Device to get at the top of mid this round, that's for sure.
Yeah, the first half was jolly exchanges. The second half is serious business, very serious indeed. There is a lot on the line here. A lot of RMR points, a fat-ass trophy as well.
PHAT.
The lead is extended to 5 for the Ninjas in Pajamas, but Heroic are still dangerous with the weapons they have and what they'll buy around them.
Yes, they still have plenty of money because of how they saved those 3 guns the round prior, so this is not going to be some kind of weird wishy-washy buy. This will be a powerful buy for Heroic. The thing is, though, is that the heavy hitters for Heroic just aren't really showing up right now on this map. Tesses, who's led from the front for Heroic and who's had a fantastic tournament so far, the highest-rated player on Heroic, is currently lagging behind on this 3rd map individually, and Cadian is also struggling. He would be the 2nd highest-rated player, and he is struggling right now. So Heroic right now needs some of their hitters to show up, or NIP are going to start running away with this. NIP, you got to give it to him, though. I mean, well, Device is the highest-rated player for NIP, and while he continues to be the highest-rated player on the map for NIP right now.
We have some serious map control here.
This is going to be extremely problematic.
Oh my god. We're about to see a black hole on the B-bomb site. And Device dying is not ideal, but, well, things will escalate quickly. Tesses! Oh, that's such an important jewel. That crosshair was bang in the middle of his face. And now they don't really know what's happening. The execute is on the way, though, but that smoke will certainly help. There's no trade fragger near, and this may fall to pieces for Ninjas in Pajamas. 2 versus 4. The bomb in the apps. Plopsky's on the way, but there is an AWP to post up somewhere. And 1 kill might be all that Cadian needs to say that he is dropped by Rez. Makes his way into the site, down goes Tesses as well. Where are the final 2? Oh my god, Rez is an animal! Every time, he's such a beast for Ninjas in Pajamas. 3 unrelenting kills from Rez. And Shush is left in the market. He wants to press forward. Oh my god, he's such a beast. By the bench now, a perfect position, not spotted just yet, but even if he is eliminated here. Oh, the angle is held by Plopsky. A perfect crossfire. That is quite the turnaround. Rez is the personification of a can opener. You can see what it means. ZTR getting out of his chair. That's what a casual smile as well. I'm almost offended by that.
He's just doing work, man. This is what he gets paid the money to do.
My god.
But he's really coming up with the multi-kills. And this map long, it always feels like you see Rez's name, and then you see Rez's name twice or 3 times. Like, he's just always multi-killing. It's almost never single kills for Rez. It's so crazy how consistently good he is.
In the clutch. That man does not give a fuck. A swing in mid from Stour. He will be traded, and Refresher's trying to do what he can. But guess who? It's Rez. He's coming out like Johnny through the door. Face first, baby. Who needs a door handle? 3 on 3. Rez with 2 HP. ZTR with the bomb. What do they do from here? You can see Tesses is trying to take the game into his own hands, making a play through the B apartments to get some information. He can at least leave 2 players on A.
That was important. That was a big one. Shush wins the duel against Device. It's a bit of the utility gone here for NIP. NIP still have nade superiority, though. So, minute on the clock. And it's a question of whether or not NIP can get in here and actually, yeah, what is the play? Do they want to just set themselves up? Yep. ZTR going to use himself as bait. Can they find Shush on the site?
Crouching. The bricks will protect them from default until they stand. That is the purpose there. Oh man, nasty surprise for someone. It is Shush to get deleted. Smoke grenade to create some space as well. ZTR holding angles. Cadian has to deliver now, but it's a flashbang coming his way. And again, it turns around. These are heroic-esque plays that we're seeing from Ninjas in Pajamas when it matters the most. Switching out to the AK-47, Tesses may need a defuse kit as well. Look at the crossfire from Ninjas in Pajamas. He is walking into the net like a fish versus a trawler.
What can you do? This is an impossible situation. And there it is. As soon as he starts pulling nades out, that's when Rez is going to go for the peak. Rez, again, back-to-back hero here for NIP. 3 kills that round. All of the money puts him at the top of the scoreboard. 22 kills for Rez.
Match point, Ninjas in Pajamas. Shun the non-believers. Into the water you go.
This is going to be it, dude. I mean, force buy from Heroic. 7 match points for NIP. And NIP really showing some depth here. These have been decisive rounds as well in this second half. Multiple people surviving for NIP. Heroic have succeeded in picking up a single round so far this half on the CT side of Mirage.
Heroic was so close on overpass as well. Watching that back's going to feel like a nightmare. And Rez is the nightmare on Mirage. Impact frags. That is the phrase. Split of the B bomb site, that is the play, and it's Hampus with the opening kill. They've killed Rez, and maybe they've got a chance to win this one. But Hampus can pick up the slack. Cadian's only got a scout to play with. See if he's got the flicks that we saw earlier. He'll need some headshots as well. Hampus and ZT are tagged. Man, disadvantage, no kit for these final 3 players. Stan making his way up towards short, and it's just Down and Shush now. 2 versus 4. Device with the angles. Can see that short's been shut down as well, and then it was just Shush, and there he goes. NIP destroy Heroic on Mirage. The biggest fight of their lives on overpass, and they make it to that 3rd map and change the script.
And this after a close loss, NIP to G2. They made it up into the winter semifinals. They got knocked